Can't go live for long because my live stream cuts out. My phone has started draining my battery very quickly when I live stream now. So I won't talk for a long time, you feel me? I just wanted to give you all an update. I decided, against my better judgment, man, I know we should follow our heart. My heart was calling me to the mountain, but I thought it better to sleep today and get a good day of rest. And I don't know if I got that good day of rest, but I definitely slept. The 5D's here. I've been training my subscribers to daydream again and getting them back on track. We've been handling some people with sleep paralysis demons. We've been helping people fight their past traumas and emotions. I've been just waking up and working on my music every day. I have this nice chair. I have a Monster energy drink, and I have all these smokes. I no longer have to spend money on smokes. What's good, Derek? How you feeling? How you doing, brother? Last time I heard from you, you had a profound spiritual experience, and now it's just you and I in the chat, Derek. Now Medium Syllables is here. So I haven't eaten fast food in months. I just ate a fast food burger by myself. And now a black cat has joined my chat asking me about this burger. When I was really beating myself up about it, I shouldn't have had that burger. And now a bot is here to remind me that they know. They know what I've done, Derek. They knew I ate a burger. There's shit in this soda. I'm not a bot. You are a bot. Do you go into everybody's chat and ask them about their favorite burger, Medium Syllables? Every live stream do you join, do you ask them about the burger, or did you get an impulse through your consciousness to relay that to me? Then I don't think it's a Are you a subscriber, or did you just find me? Have you been subscribed, Medium? He scrolls and pastes his question, and it brought him to me just after I ate a burger by myself. That's right. You were meant to find this. My algorithm put you because it knows what you say. So you were on the back burner for the agenda, just like I got an impulse. Yep, just like I got an impulse to go live, you got the impulse to do that. I don't need your permission to speak, pussy. Is that another black cat in the chat? No. What's your profile picture? Elon Musk wishes he was here, man. Elon Musk sold his soul and fucked Amber Turd. Elon Musk will never be as happy as you and I can be happy naturally because he gave his power away to be a vessel to change the collective consciousness. Aiden Ross will never be as happy as you and I can be happy sitting outside on the beach or sitting outside in the woods. They gave that ability away. And that's why they have to find it through gambling and sex and liquid heroin. Ugh! Vinnie is a consistent name that pops up in my life all the time. Yep, the police. I'm feeling negative energy, bro. How we feeling, guys? Have you guys been seeing aliens? You know, they're revealing themselves to people who fast and get sunlight and sit outside and don't work for the Matrix. Aliens are just coming down all the time. I saw like 3 today. I was just sitting here going live, rolling my cigarettes, and then a giant light being popped out of the ether right next to me. And I got it on my last YouTube short. Ah, I'm feeling it. It's probably the monster. I heard that they do witchcraft in these monsters. Yeah. What do they like? It depends. Sometimes, like, it depends on my bubble. It depends on the time of day. It depends on the amount of sunlight. It depends on the decisions I made. It depends on where I am in the multiverse, like what direction I jump through all these cellular wormholes every time my spirit made a decision to go a certain place and my body followed. It depends. Some realities, it's like distorted heroin addicts that are just two-dimensional scribbles just attacking my mind. Some days, it's like I see this giant, complex, amazing structure of all these geometric patterns that open up and flower out so I can grasp a higher concept of that being. So it'll show up to me as like a little flower, and then it unravels into this giant, complex being that operates outside of space and time. Some of them are just like us. Oh, well, I'm not diagnosed schizophrenic, but I am diagnosed with savant syndrome. And I do have I produce extra DMT. I don't think it's a coincidence that my mom was inspired to name me Casey. She just looked in a book and then something in her mind went, pick Casey. And then Casey turns out to be that ancient African DMT producing tree that the Egyptians would unravel like a flower, and it taught them how to connect to higher beings outside of space and time that allowed them to build pyramids and do all this stuff. That's why the Casey is the most powerful name in Freemasonry. And I'm a 33 life path, which is the most powerful soul on earth. The most experienced soul that can be housed in this experience. And I'm born on the 11th, which means I have the most vivid experience. My whole life is like a kaleidoscope of an infinite emotional understanding, like Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, Aiden Ross. And I just travel around making things better, like Emery Tate, another 33 life path. You feel me? You feel me? August 11th. So Tex Smith, when I went and got my burger today, I was number 811. And that hit something in my mind. I was like, why did I get 811? Why do I keep getting 811 all the time? My dad's birthday is August 10th. Why do I keep meeting people born on August 11th all the time? The last one was named Vincent. And now the Vinnie brothers are in the chat. Laura, why are you sad right now? Why are you sad, Lauren? How can you be sad and your anime is a cartoon? So there is meaning to everything. Yeah. I don't know. It's like there's so much different things happening at once that your mind tunes into like a frequency. So the universe is really different depending on your belief systems. When you structure your belief systems, the universe changes. So what's real for one, that's how something that's real for one person can be real for somebody else. Like I'll tell you that I was sitting over here and I felt like I should go to sleep. But I was like, I'm gonna stay up, it's nice out, I'm gonna get some good vibes, smoke a cigarette, chill out. When I feel good, I'm gonna go on this long bike ride. But then in my daydreams, another version of myself, so like the Casey from 2023, a past version of Casey, when he had all of his hood armor on and he was smoking Black and Milds and he had the Timbs on and the snapback and he was dark, like full of pain and trauma. He came in to my imagination, sat next to me, grabbed me by the hand in my mind, picked me up and carried me over and just guided me over to my tent to go to sleep. So I was like, fuck it. When I went to bed and I had a bunch of really, really vivid dreams about the universe, teaching me different things about how to operate in the 5D. And I held that in my spirit. And then today I went live and just a giant light being just came out of the ether right next to me. And I felt it like wrap around my head. And I was like, I don't know what to do about that. So I'm just going to keep rolling my smokes and hope that that's not the electric demons like in the Black Ops 1's or Black Ops 2 zombies, the Avogadro in the basement, that you have to turn the power on and light up and then it comes out and you have to kill it. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling tonight, man. Just making my music, writing my songs. You think our minds see everything the same and out of everything it notices differences in a singularity? Or do I think our minds see everything the same and out of everything it notices differences? I mean, there is a common denominator. And I think that that's what you should learn. You should try to learn if you're trying to be like spiritual. You should see everything in the common denominator. Once you see everything as energy, you'll see that, like, regardless of the person's belief systems and the different realities he's coming from, and all the different stuff affecting our experience, our simulation, there is a common denominator, and that common denominator is action, which is what karma means. Karma means action. So the only common denominator for this experience is the actions that you take. Just like if I decide to move this bike, regardless of how you feel about it, I still moved it. That's karma. Just like all these cars going by me now suddenly, when it was completely empty and quiet the whole night, but as soon as I start talking, the environment starts to get louder and more chaotic. Well, my name means hypervigilant naturally. My name means omnipresent. My name means an omnipresent ancient African tree of light that produces DMT that wakes the world up to the infinite. Laura's still sad. Laura, don't be sad. Do some fucking push-ups, pussy. Unless a family member had died. In that case, everyone that I've lost I felt deserved to go to heaven the most. I think their suffering was over, their song was over, and it was time for them to go to something way better than this. Omnipresent like a god? Yes. Omnipresent as in you can be everywhere all at once. Omnipotent would be like being able to control everything. Like I'd be able to pilot you remotely without any need to like bypass you without your consent to puppet you. That would be like omnipotent. If I was able to reach in, grab you, and control you with my mind, that'd be omnipotent. But omnipresent is like I can see what's going on when I zoom in onto your life. And it only happens, like there's a lot of shit I have to do. It's better if I'm out in nature, if I have no relationships whatsoever. But when I've come into this new town and I have to get used to the new, different energy of this small town, because everything is structured so differently in different communities, and Vermont's a really good way to see that because it's all these tiny little small towns sprinkled in between mountains. So I can step in as a Sagittarius, I can just adventure through, explore all the different places, and then see how it's different. And then I do shit like fall asleep, and then I have a dream I'm standing behind Kai Cenat, and Kai Cenat has sold his soul so that people like me could operate him, and then I just make Kai Cenat dance around for a little bit and make him say some things that sound like Casey. You know, Casey Rocket, Kurt Kaz, Kendrick Curry, Cassius Culpepper, the Kansas City Chiefs, Kelly Creative Collective, and my group is called the Kingdom of Creative Champions, the KCC. And they all won last year in my elemental year of the water cat. I'm a fire cat. So in my zodiac year of the cat, last year, as the ancient tree, I branched out in my mind, creating things. And then all of a sudden, it's like all the things I created got to express themselves through different creators that technically sold their soul to the industry. I could show you me riffing the way Casey Rocket does when I was 17, exactly the way that he does. And he thought that he invented and pioneered that style, but 10 years before he even tried, I was already doing it on a mountain in Vermont. Bro, I could go, if I could go back in time, I'd show you the exact way that Kurt Kaz manages these Venezuelan women was the same way that I would bring girls on adventures with me across Vermont. The same way he takes girls on adventures across these different foreign landscapes. And the way Kai Cenat likes to, and he dances. The way Queso goes, chat, ban him. Does it involve navigating the astral world? I don't know. For me, it doesn't seem like I really have to fly or travel anymore. It used to be the case, but now it's just like I just jump. Like I just warp. And it really depends on like, I really have to stay quiet and not speak. And if I stay quiet and just kind of absorb things for a while, then I can restructure myself and do these things. If I talk a lot, then I just come back to normalcy and I'm not special at all. And I have to keep rebuilding it back up, and then I can express my power. So it really depends. Like, I think that's the beauty of it, is that you can put yourself into a hole on accident where the whole thing was meaningless and redundant. But astral projection is I don't think it'll ever be dangerous. I think it's always a learning experience. I think no matter what you go through, even if it's scary like sleep paralysis or a bad trip, or you get raped or something, I think in this world it's a learning experience, and I think that there's something so much better outside of that that it will look like a prank. All the suffering that you went through at the end, you'll be like, oh fuck, I took it too seriously. Have you heard about that soldier from World War II that lost fingers and an eye and half of his face and part of his head and part of his brain? And he still like got in the plane and drove it into the enemy camp and then won and then lived. And he ran into battle in World War II and all this shit. Eric Campos Lopez, keep jerking off, and I swear to God, one day your dad might be proud of you, but none of us are. Go on, kid. I'll be right back. I'm coming. I'm gonna come. I'm fucking pissed RFK dropped out. Fuck that. He had a hawk. RFK has a pet fucking hawk. He's the only president that could rip his shirt off and say, I'm the only one fit enough to run this country. But it is what it is, guys. How we feeling? Is that girl still sad? Laura, your little friend is sad. Lotta sad. Laura, quit being a fucking energy vampire, man. Tell us why you're sad. Tell us what's happening. And then we'll help. Tell me your problems and I'll solve them real quick. Google 33 life path. You know who else is a 33 life path? Every single Rothschild in existence. The people that own the world are all 33 life paths. And they do it on purpose. They do C-section births because they really believe it. And if they've been running the world for over 2,000 years, there might be some truth in that. It might be a bit more real than we might be taking that knowledge for granted. How do you feel about keeping NPDT about astral travel? Notes. It's different for everybody. I heard that everyone has a different way of taking in information, and they have different systems in place to use that information and create with it that's unique to them. So everyone does it different. As the world gets more spiritual, as we raise to the 5D, it's different for everybody. So I'd say look at your birthday, look at the numerology of the birthday, look at on CoStar Astrology, the CoStar Astrology app, put that in, get your CoStar Astrology, and then just look up about your rising sign, your north node, your sun and moon, your Venus, your Jupiter, all that stuff. And then try to go back in through your life and look at all the symbolism and motifs that built up themes to see the narrative for yourself, and that can kind of help you. Those are hints that help you towards your true self. Supposedly, as we ascend, we have an oversoul that's managing all the different multiverse realities of us in this third dimensional plane as we raise up, and all of us that are going out through all the different timelines possible. Eventually, we're going to get back with all this experience we've learned and kind of grow ourselves. You feel me? We're going to grow grander because we have more of the infinite inside us. Like the higher plane, the better and the more peaceful. Yeah, that seems to be the case. It seems like a whole different dimension up there where the rules are different. Like karma isn't as physical. You feel me? We have Sagittarius here. What's up, Sagittarius? I am a Sagittarius. I'm Sagittarius, Aquarius across the board, except my Taurus rising, which changes my North Node to Leo, my Venus to Scorpio, my Saturn to Taurus, and my Jupiter to Aries. If I didn't have a Taurus rising, everything would be Sagittarius and Aquarius. I would be this high vibrational explorer, constantly creating the structure of reality through philosophy, connecting nature to humanity to the heavens. I would be this bridge or a tree, which is coincidental that my name means the ancient everlasting tree of love that produces DMT, that brought the Egyptians to higher dimensional beings, that gave them all this information in the past. And that is what my mom named me. She had no idea that my name is Casey because of that. She just liked the name. What's up, Sierra? How you doing? You put that comma like that comma's foreboding. It seems like you got something to tell me. What does it mean? What does that mean? Like I was born in February. Vinnie, if you're still here, what's your birthday? I'll do a fucking life path reading real quick. Why not? Why not, brother? You heard me? So right now, I'm putting tobacco in my cigarette. Playing some games, you know me. Hanging out. I'll do a life path reading for you. Sagittarius Sun, Virgo Moon, Scorpio Rising, Sagittarius Venus. So, for some reason, Sagittarius and Virgo are always like motifs. Like I have a lot of Sagittarius people here, coincidentally. Never made a post about like hashtag Sagittarius, but they just find me. Yeah, life path 7. So I can name tons of people that the number 7 and Virgo go together all the time. And then Sagittarius and Virgo, they work well together. And then Gemini, yeah, Gemini and Sagittarius are connected with that river of truth that comes through. That's why they're paired signs, like, oh, Gemini and Sagittarius are like the two signs that would be most attracted to each other because of that. Because the Sagittarius are all this philosophizing exploration, and Geminis are like this big processor of information. So I see Sagittarius and Gemini get together all the time. Yeah, and all these Sagittarius, and this whole thing, we're in the 5th dimension now. It's all synchronicity. You're all here because I'm here to tell you that it's real. I'm here to be a reference experience. I'm here to open you up to higher realms of thought. You were looking for something that I have to offer. You were looking for. You feel me? Even if it's just to know I exist for a second. Yeah, every Gemini I got with left me for an Aries, and they were not happy about it. But there's something about the Aries' power and their like explosivity that Gemini really like because it overwhelms them. But the Aries tend to be too hot-headed and they get jealous, and then they get power gamey, and they always get jealous of the Sagittarius because the Sagittarius doesn't care. The Aries cares too much, and the Sagittarius doesn't give a fuck at all. So the Gemini usually goes back to the Sagittarius because they get sick and tired of all the drama from Aries men. You feel me? Aries women and Gemini men is a pretty good combo. I don't see it a lot. Capricorn, we're not talking about Capricorn. We'll talk about Capricorn in a minute. I'm gonna do the life path reading real quick. If my Cash App's in my channel description if anybody wants to help me get a computer to make content. No worries though. I'm on the spiritual front lines right now. Just gigging. So the first thing is February 12th. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Plus 1 is 6. Plus 9 is 15. Plus 8 is 23. Plus 9 is 32. So you're a 5 life path. 5 life paths are travelers. 5 life paths see it as life is like constant change. You have a more vivid sexual energy about you, like the stuff that happens with sex. Like people say life is all about sex. That's really the case for 5 life paths, and they're in this constant flux, which helps them because they're supposed to be going long distances and going to see new worlds. But also with the golden spiral, that could just be like being a postman or something. That could be being a UPS worker. Something about you means that you transfer realms of thought very easily. You go like it's constant. You're able to adapt to constant change very easily, and a lot of people say that you're the most attractive of the life path numbers, except the master numbers, which fall under different rules. But of the main 9, you would be the most attractive because it helps you when you travel to be more visually appetizing. It's more comfortable for people to see you as you go through and do your job. Being born on the 12th makes you a 3. That goes to 3. So 3s are this childlike, free energy. This creative, C is the 3rd letter. This free creativity, childlike essence, where you're not bogged down by everything else. You're more free to create things and use that childlike peace of mind. So you would be a traveling child, which I have a lot to offer because that's pretty much like 33 is the divine child, and I'm a Sagittarius. You're an Aquarius. So when I said that you transfer between different realms of thought, the Aquarius is the most high vibrational of the zodiac. They automatically live in the 5th dimension, which is what makes them seem like, when people are like Aquarius are the rebel. They're not the rebel because they naturally have rebellious traits. It's because they're trapped in a 3D incarnation and they know they're supposed to be 5D and operate from 5D. So they're constantly shooting upward to try to assert their narrative so that they could get back to their own personalized oversoul 5th dimensional space. So being this is pretty much exactly what I'm doing actually. Being this traveling rebel, reaching upward with childlike energy, attractive sexual energy. You should be living pretty much the same life I am. You're like it's a motif that whole thing just reminded me a lot about myself. So it's not a coincidence that your name is a name that follows me all the time. Like every town I step into, if there's not a Vinnie that I meet in the town as I travel, I meet a Vinnie online. Like every town that I've went to, I either had to I was attacked by a Vinnie. One time I had to protect a child named Vinnie from an abusive mother. One time there was a guy named Vinnie trying to get, 2 guys named Vinnie with 2 separate relationships that were trying to get in the way. I think, I don't know if I said it, but I had to fight off a crackhead named Vinnie that had a hatchet and a gun, and I had a machete, and I had to sneak into his camp at night and steal his shit and then try to get his manager to get him in trouble, and then try to get community action program to get him the help he needed. When I broke down, I killed someone in self-defense, and I broke down in a sundown town in the middle of winter, and I was trying to make my music, and a guy named Vinnie was at the recording studio, and he was giving me a lot of trouble. They always seem to be oppositions, but I don't feel like you're in opposition. That's definitely a reminder. So the Aquarius are detached and very logical too. So that childhood energy and the sexual life path stuff blends really well. It allows that house. So I'm starting to recognize that that character I just created based off those numbers falls in line a lot with my stuff. So I guarantee the next one I'm about to bring up will be another aspect of myself. And that's why we're here. We have June 8th, 1999. So that's 6 plus 8 is 14, plus 1 is 15, plus 9 is 24, 33, 42. So you're a 6 life path Cancer born on the 8th. No, you're a Gemini. 6 life path Gemini born on the 8th. 6 is the number of home and family. Every 6 I know stays very close to the family. They manage the family relationships in some ways. So every family that comes together, or a business or a friend group, has all these different relationships and people with opinions about each other. So look at all that information that's spreading across between all the networks of that little system. They all have opinions, they all have attraction, they all have drama. So at a certain level of that relationship dynamic between this group, the home and family, depending on your astrological sign, would be how you deal with the home and family. So as a Gemini, you're more carefree and social. You're dealing with information. It's not an emotional, it's an informational thing with knowledge, the air element. So the air You would be managing basically the levels of air in the group and how that communicates. You would be strengthening the ability for them to connect with each other through the mind, stimulating the mind. Like fire signs deal with passion and creativity, water signs deal with emotion and feeling, earth signs deal with boundaries, air signs deal with the raw information. So as the information, the social planet, you would be, and because you're born on the 8th, that strengthens that, because 8 is the number of karma. Not the real, what karma means, action. I'm talking about karma as in dishing out what goes around comes around. Dealing with taking what people have and then giving it back to them the way that the universe wants it to happen. It's balance, the infinity sign. It's all about the balance of it. So as a Gemini person dealing with relationships centered around karmic justice and bringing things back to people, this back and forth, you would be like the main node for people that they come in and they're talking and they're laughing and joking around, and you might not realize it, but you are keeping everybody. I see it as you're like this bubble of air, but not really a bubble of air. You're like this just field of air. It's not a bubble. It's a field of air. You probably have a Cancer in the group that keeps the bubble over. In that air, it's like every time people come in, all the thoughts that they have, all the things that they came into the environment with, that structure the pure information, like the knowledge and the wisdom of it all. They're coming in, and you're keeping everybody feeling safe enough to balance themselves to come to the right frame of mind. And you are kind of you're restructuring the problems and offering solutions in a way that's more like stepping into, like, that might be a good, I don't think that's the right example. It's like you're like a chamber. You're like a chamber of air that when people come into, when they step inside, you're able to manage everyone that enters the space at once. But it's not like an octopus where you're like reaching your tentacles in and out. You're just the air itself. Depending on your moon, that your moon would be kind of how you are sitting in that field. So the sun is that you operate as the field, as a sun Gemini. So everywhere you go, you're like this field of air that's constantly managing the karma of everybody's intellect and social skills. This social karmic aspect of people that allows them to handle their relationships. And then the 6 keeps you as this good vessel for the whole overarching friend group to function. So you're probably an old soul. Let's see what you add up. Oh, you add up to a 6. Let me know if you see it differently. But that's a 6 life path is the home and family, that structured relationship network. The 8 is karma, that deals with karma. What's the 8th letter? H. So when the people that invented this system that goes back way past ancient Egypt, they used the letterology. You can see when they name things in the English language, they gave it that name because of the traits that concept embodies. So 3 is C, A, B, C. So things like childlike, creative. H, when I first heard H, I heard in the back of my mind, it like hit my spine and it said healing. Healing, karma. Dealing with where people, when they come into the space versus when they leave. And you're able to manage the whole thing. So you probably have a lot of people around you at all times. But the other aspect of that is that we live in a place that wants to challenge that purpose, which helps you find your purpose. Like I'm supposed to be this giant fireball flying through, extending my roots as a tree, growing into everybody's garden to heal everybody at once. while I just sit alone and make my music. And that's what I'm doing now. But for my whole childhood was me being trapped in places and having to fight my way out like an escape room. Constantly getting trapped places where I can't go anywhere, do anything. And when I did break free, I was physically traumatized and attacked all the time, forcing me to feel trapped in my own mind. Because that forced me to persevere into my purpose and be more competent as this explorer now. And now I'm more grateful to be doing what I'm doing because I know where I've came from. So you probably had a lot of isolation as a child. You probably were cut off and restricted from your family. You were probably a black sheep because of that management. Because you were supposed to fight to step into that role. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Structural iron worker. Hard-ass job. What do you think about treatment? Oh, well, damn, I'm hungry. Please help me get something to eat. Beyond February, I'm just... What I did, if you can't just go to a Dunkin' Donuts dumpster, and you know if you're really hungry, you can go to a Dunkin' Donuts dumpster. If you're really homeless and hungry, you know how to get food. If not, you have a fucking phone. That's what I did. I went on and just told people my life and showed them how hard I'm struggling and persevering to make my life happen. And then over time, I grew into this. And now sometimes I get donations that help me. And then look what God has provided me for helping people consistently. I went from walking with blisters on my feet that I couldn't move and I had to sit and wait. It's been 2 years. And I've slowly been getting better and better. Nice $2,000 bike for free. And I'm going to hold on to it until I absolutely don't need it anymore because I'm learning that that's how the universe provides. It gives you what you need. So once I weigh my options and I know it's time to sell the bike because there's something else I'm going towards, then I will no longer need it. And then I can give it and have this bike be of use to somebody else. But because there's no like if I sold this for $2,000 right now, and I don't know if it's 2,000, but when you look on Google, that's what it says. I don't know exactly how much it would be, but that's what Google says. But I know that as long as I hold on to it and I keep appreciating it because I have it, and I know how hard I worked to get this, every time I just look at it, I'm overwhelmed with positive emotion. That's called being grateful, having gratitude. It's like I've been through so much and I worked for it so much that when it finally came to me, I can just look at it and get overwhelmed with happiness that heals my depression. Immediately, I just look at this bike and it stimulates my mind and fixes my problems for me. And then I get to ride it into battle to help other people. That's like every time I go to a new town, after I just worked in the last town, and I just like pissed everybody off, people came at me all the time. Constant fights and drama and struggling and problems and suffering. And then when I got through it and I'm ready to go to the next town, I get things like this bike, and I get things like $40 worth of tobacco for $10. So I'm telling you, like, just keep going. I can't help you, but I'm telling you to start producing content that is of service to others, and watch how it comes in with hard work and consistency. Watch how you get what you need when you need it. Watch how the universe provides you for being of service to it. You don't have to work a job to get the things you need. You can be of service to this whole thing. And then you're working, but you're working for something else that isn't the Freemasonic organization that built the Romans and the Catholics and the British and then America, that founded their whole thing off the rape and enslavement of others and brainwashing them to steal sexual energy from their children. Shake your ass for Drake. Shake your ass for Drake. That's going in children's minds. I'm seeing tons of videos of children twerking. And I don't like it, I dislike it, but it keeps coming up to remind me that's where we are. That's where we're at. Where that video of those kids twerking to Sexy Red is now like one of the most viral videos right now. You're born on the 10th. My dad was born on the 10th. That's the kid. That's the J. That's the person that rules over everybody else, but it has a very hard problem with understanding how meaningful everything can be. That's the last thing you get to, is you're a leader. Like the 1 where you're driving, the driving force, the prime number. You're the 10, so you're the overarching whole of all the signs. But you haven't made it to the master numbers yet. You haven't made it to this level yet, where you understand the meaning of everything, the K, the king, the knowledge. You haven't made it there yet. And my dad's a 10. He's a 10 Leo 3 life path. They call him Gary the Legend O'Brien. He was the best ski instructor in the state, according to the people I talked to. And he was brutally traumatized his whole life because of what he was able to create as a Leo Libra 3 life path, this balanced passion. I see my dad as a mountain, and I see myself as the embodiment of nature, man in the heavens in one, a tree. But I can be like all over the place. I could be tons of things. But I'm mostly just perseverance. That's really all I am. It's just perseverance, and then the rest are just different styles. I grew up on top of a mountain by myself in a ski chalet for one of the richest elite families in the country, building Legos by myself, walking through the woods by myself. And I had a whole ski resort that was empty, foreclosed. So I had this giant ski resort mountain right opposite my house. I lived in this back dirt road on a little hill, and then on the other hill, giant mountain. I had all to myself, and I wandered around alone by myself, daydreaming with God. So we all have different purposes, but for the most part, if you just stick it through and have faith, raise your awareness, and try to be a better person, it usually comes through. So this guy was born in February, and then we have beyond February coming into the chat. Begging for food, and I've begged for food, so of course I feel bad. It's my simulation, right? I'm talking to you from behind my eyes somewhere, and this is just coming at me like life. So now we have a couple of embodiments of my character coming in the chat, and then we have beyond February, which is where I was begging for food right after February. You feel me? So now I have to decide, am I going to be like the white women that threw coffee at my face when I was hungry, eating from the dumpster? Do I have to... It's hard to tell. I felt the vibe that she's suffering. I feel like it's a woman coming out of the collective. I can't tell if it's for crack. I tried for 6 months to say it. Like, I had the ability to save the world. I saw it in exactly all the steps I needed to take. I just needed to find a way to get these people on Facebook, ask for help groups, ask for money for help, on means of everything that I will do to build myself to a conspiration studio, all content from Vermont, and have this literally grace from God expressing itself across Vermont. Out of the music industry, for people to be able to take their great, to get raped by a Jewish pedophile. Laughed in my face, whipped their cigarette butt, me walking down the street. I had to fight for my life several times, almost dying, just to have no one in the world care. No one in the world has ever said, like, really suck, I'm sorry. Some people say they're proud of me that I made it through, but no, I haven't met anyone that understands anything about my experience. So I don't know if it's gonna go drugs. I don't have the money to waste, but we'll see what happens. The Holy Spirit. 2/10/1982. So Aquarius 10th, 1982. That adds up to, and you are, how old are you? Let's see. You are 28. No, 18 plus 24. You're 40, right? Nope, you're not 40. Hold on. Let me get my mind right. 1980 plus 18. So you were 18 in 2000. 18 plus 24. 42, right? You're 42 and you are asking a 24-year-old man that's homeless on the street for money. For food. Is it for food? Is it for food? I think you should be more honest if it's for drugs. I think you should just go into people's live streams and say, hey, I need crack. Can you cash at me? You know how to do. Let me know if it works, though. Let me know if other people are cash apping you when you ask. Because they don't help me at all. You're a 3. Plus 1 is 4. 15. 21. 23. So you're a 5 too. What I said 5s. Yep. This is God's challenge. I have to be enough of service to others to be able to get my needs met. Well, man, I had about $1 yesterday, and then a very nice subscriber that has been following for a long time cash at me exactly what I need. Coincidentally, it was like $48.75 or something, and it was exactly the right amount of money I need to buy this phone. I got exactly enough to be able to get this next upgrade in my life. But beyond February, I'm 24. I'm half your age, and I know what it's like. I know what it's like to sit outside a gas station asking for $2 for an Arizona, and everyone laughs in your face, and then you have to go to bed freezing. And then you go in and have to go steal the Arizona because no one will help you, and then you have to deal with police that are holding their gun and screaming in your face. And then you have to go to bed outside in the cold alone with no way to get heat, and you just have to sit there suffering and having to fight off the ego system of the Matrix. I get it. Big Kev is a 7-year-old. Sierra, what's going on? Sierra killed her child, and then she's like, I'm in crisis. But you killed a kid. Just to accept that it happened and then move on to make better decisions. Love and light. Love you. Good night. Please help me. Yeah, they hate me. I'm getting sent across the country again because I'm a freak. I want to go. How do you get faith? We got Ray in the chat. Ray. Come on, Ray. Come on, Ray. Step in. Ray's got you, Sierra. You need to study a lot at the Sage government. Should have a lot of free skills courses. What should I study? What should I be studying, Wisdom? How to make a dam. How to make a really cheap dam so that you can pull up at all these white Americans' properties and be like, hey, I can set up this dam for like $1,000, then you'll have free power forever. Off a stream, and I think my dad had tried to do that in the past. It's like I'm getting the trickle down of my dad's hopes and dreams, and I'm helping them come true in a certain way. Like he's a Leo that's constantly producing. And I'm a 33 that loves his dad. Salt River. Anyone from? Where's everybody from? Where's everybody from, guys? What's my charge at? I'm at. So now my life. Sometimes when the government is on my phone, it drains so quickly I can't go live. When the government very quickly. Why? Hey, look, was that my butterfly? Did you guys see the white moth that just wrapped around me? I be getting white moths all the time. Shout out 144 from the stars to Row. He always got messages for me. He's always watching. Where are you, Chibi? Yeah, I mean, I would be a freak at software development. I'm software developing as we speak in my mind. Why don't you study these nuts? So I'm making my music. I'm going to Mount Mansfield pretty soon. I'm thinking about maybe a truck driver. Maybe if I have to be a truck driver. I'm more worried about we don't know how long we have left to live. We don't know about, says who? Watch this, watch this. I've been drinking Monster. My fault. But he's gone forever. I'll never hear from him again. I'm down to do one more life path astrology reading. If someone puts their birthday in the chat, I'll do a whole reading for you. Whew. It's hard, man. The amount of people that have all these addictions and bad habits, and they're coming from all different walks of life. And I'm a very strong empath. You gotta learn to cut through the bullshit. You heard me? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you feeling me? I have to piss suddenly. If anybody wants a life path reading, if not, I'll just keep talking. Keep going back and forth. Wisdom wants me to know about this guy. Wisdom says study is not just for money, but keeping the brain sharp. I guess I've been studying human psychology and interpersonal relationships, and I've been studying different ways to get back to a state of grace. I've been learning more about how to live outside of the matrix comfortably and happily, getting back in tune with nature and the world that is here that nobody is a part of because they don't know how to get there anymore. They're slowly being cut off from it. And I'm so proud of how much I've grown because I go through public and I see people that were at previous stages of where I was. So I've seen how great I've become and how much I hate being in that, how much I hate being part of society. What are you studying, Wisdom? Let's see if I have any. I think I have one over here. I'm gonna paste the cigarettes. So if anybody here is new, the cure for pretty much all mental health illness, the foundational thing to start off with, I think for everybody, is fasting, sunlight, probiotics, rest, learning breathing exercises, and then that induces ketosis, autophagy, and apoptosis, which all the demons from the Bible operate as parasites in your body that are guiding your thoughts. They're possessing you because you have parasites guiding you to make bad decisions that help feed the parasite. So when you fast, your body goes in and it says, this isn't serving me, this isn't helping me, look at all these cancer cells eating me, look at this tumor, look at this parasite, look at this bacteria, look at all this shit that I don't need that's not helping me. And it's like, oh, I need food anyway. And it consumes it, it breaks it down and eats it. Your body's a bunch of different organisms at once. So fasting induces ketosis. When Bruce Lee said you need to go to Kato's toe kicks to enter the dragon, you're entering ketosis in that dragon state. And you get the dragon's breath, which is that bad smell in the back of your throat because your body's breaking up all the garbage and bacteria and the gross shit inside of you to start to break it down and consume it. Once you do that, then you do things like shoulder rolls, building up that lactic acid, that burn, which also brings out all these endorphins and happiness chemicals, so it literally heals your depression. Then when you have it all and you're building up all this stuff and you're feeling it, do a little bit, raise your vibration, jump into a cold shower, have it push past your blood-brain barrier, and then we'll wipe out all the damaged cells, put it back into your blood, and then consume it. If you're fat as fuck, that cholesterol with the sunlight, when you start to break it down and consume it, the ATP from your mitochondria mixed with the sunlight, the vitamin D, and the cholesterol will supercharge your testosterone, and you'll feel like a man again. Astronautical engineering, programming, digital technology, cooking, gardening. I work as an architect. Well, I mean, I kind of want my uncle as an architect, and I kind of want him to be the pioneer for intentional communities and stuff like that. Thank you. Thank you for the headphone love. If it's your passion, it's your passion, man. If you enjoy it, do it, brother. Everybody's different. If you got big money and you want to support the revolution, my Cash App's in my description. I'm working towards content creation studios, finishing my album, being in a position to allow the dreams of all my loved ones to come true, being in a place where I can set an example and heal massive amounts of people's problems, and start to really grow myself across Vermont. Setting an example, because I'm in a very messed up place. See how we have Vincent? Vinnie's brothers, are you still here, Vinnie? Vermont, yeah. Vermont's a social experiment. We see UFOs every day. It's not unnatural to just look up in the sky and see UFOs. We all see UFOs all day. If you stay outside at night, we're seeing UFOs every night. Yeah, and that's part of the problem. That's really what I'm talking about, John. That's really what I'm talking about. Also, Johnny, Irish people are not white. Spiritually and genetically. Irish people were black with blue eyes for thousands of years. That's why a lot of people name Moore. If you look up M-O-R-E, that's one of the most predominant Irish names. The Moore family came from Africa. The Moore family was already there. You feel me? Gareth O'Connor, seriously, yes. So we have an Irishman in the chat that needed to hear that. Irish people were considered the black whites. Irish people were also enslaved by the British. The British took Ireland, Jamaicans, everywhere Britain had a colony, they took slaves. They did take slaves. So the reason that Irish and indigenous people, basically, the Celts and indigenous in the Americas across the pond, they have the same gods, the Cernanos. You feel me? Yeah, that's what the term Irish were enslaved that to work and would laugh in their face. They'd be like, you have to, and they'd whip them and they would just go, ha ha ha, you fucking pussies. They go, oh, he's a cracker. Kill him. Fuck him. Maybe his daughter will be more willing and susceptible. Then, as it got out of slavery, when the North and the North still had slaves, they just changed it to indentured servant contracts. You can look that up. Indentured servants. That's what the North called slaves after it was no longer okay to have slaves. They called them indentured servants. And they said on paper, they're like, okay, you're going to work for us for a certain amount of time, and then we'll allow you to have land and be part of our society. But what they do is just when they hit that end mark and they legally had to let them go, they just kill them and then kidnap their daughter and force their daughters and sons into indentured servant contracts. Friendly homie came in with a yes and. So yeah, the Irish people are considered the black whites. They get their freckles because of the melanin. all that jazz, and that the red hair originally came from the Vikings, who were these tiny 4-foot genetic freaks that overwhelmed the Irish and kidnapped the women in the nighttime to breed taller and taller Vikings. So all the traits that everyone loves about the Vikings, their big, big brutality, that came from raping tall Irish women for their genetics. You feel me? Yeah, the Spanish were fucked up too. The Spanish did a lot of shit. Now what do we have? We have Taco Bell. I don't know, has Taco Bell said anything worthwhile? Let's go. Nope, he said the N-word. That's all he did. He said nigga with a hard R. He's gone. Galway over the Irish, I'd fight. I love the Irish, to fight with them. Yeah, the Irish are getting their shit going right now. I wish I had my passport, but every time I make progress, I'm suddenly brutalized by the simulation. But, I mean, it might just be that I have a very specific path. Like, I wouldn't have had this bike otherwise. I wouldn't be here otherwise. So maybe I'm going in the wrong direction or something. Okay, I'm gonna take a piss. I'm doing astrology and life path readings. If people want them, just post your birthday and I'll pick one. I'm solving mental health issues. I'm solving people's problems. I'm talking about life. I'm offering my as an ancient old soul, the highest form of empath and most powerful soul possible in the third dimensional experience, according to the people that made this system that goes all the way back to ancient Egypt. And I'm taking a fucking piss, bitch. I'm taking the bloody piss, mate. Crikey. On my own, don't wait for me to say hello. Solid gold, I hope that you don't break before I fall. Then I saw my mama crying, said you don't die soon. And then I laid down thinking I was dead, when a bullet straight hit my head. Monte Carlo pulled up and started letting out shots. And I lay down thinking I was dead. And I lay down thinking I was dead. Been working for a while, all the time. Okay. Delayed gratification incoming. Where are we at? How is the chat looking? 3, 7. Definitely, mate. Yeah, we are good. We are most of the West is at threat. Are you talking about Ireland is in big trouble, my friend, and England? Yeah. I mean, the best I can do is maybe this architect could, if you have, not this guy, but if you guys have a rich grandma or something, the best I could do is just rampage through the streets with the Irish and vlog the whole thing. Have a live streaming drone and have a camera on my cat and train my cat to be around me. Maybe put a shock collar so we can't get a certain distance away without having to come back. We live stream my cat's GoPro. We live stream a drone, and then we live stream me. And then we have this, and then we have a collage of just clickable live streams on Twitch or Kick. And then you have me on the front lines, making a difference through Ireland, rampaging with my brothers and sisters, bringing awareness, setting the intentional change, and building it back up better, taking out the system. And I'll be the martyr because I have no friend, like everyone I love is dead or dead inside. So, if there's someone to do it, it'd be me. I'm going to get a cigarette filter. I got cancer, and I might die soon. Bullets taped to my head, and then I lay down thinking I was dead. Then I saw my mama crying. I said, "Don't cry soon. Hold up, might die soon." And I lay down thinking I was dead. Hey, Black Rose is back right when we needed her most. She came. What's up, Black Rose? How you feeling? How you been? I'm chilling. I'm in a new place. I got about 30 miles north from where I was. I'm in a new place. And this was my favorite place last year. I have like 4 different favorite places in Vermont. Now I have 5. I have tons of cool spots now. So I just moved to the next one. And then I got, look at my Freemason coat. It's got the orange, the 33 in numerology. It's got the gray, the black and white 1111 in numerology. So we've got the 1133. It's got wings on the back. It's got a bunch of eagle symbolism. You feel me? Yeah, shit, sometimes, one day my live went down, and then, yeah, 1133. I'm a 33 life path born on the 11th. And those are both master numbers. The 33 is the overarching divine child, the embodiment of everything this earth can house. In America. Yeah, this guy's operating from hate. We'll give him 5 minutes. Do we do 5 or 10? We're saying 10 minutes. Basically, we can tell by the way you speak whether you're operating from positivity or negativity. It's pretty obvious to most people with their eyes open that can see growth mindsets, open mindsets that want to build and work with each other, and people that are closed mindsets that are still stuck. So the people that are open, just kind of feel for them and they like offer them love. It's like everything's gonna be okay. It's okay to do anything you want, be anything you want. You feel me? And I'll tell you that girls like me a lot, man. And if most things in life about society are structured on that gender back and forth with each other. So most of the things that people think are sick and wrong are just because it's operating outside of what they call groupthink and social conditioning. For those people, I just tell them this is a hobby. It's just I have different interests. But yeah, I have bad PTSD. What really, that's why I didn't ban him completely, because he was talking about there needs to be reform. You feel me? He was talking with compassion because he sees me as very mentally ill, which I understand. But I'm just speaking facts, bro. I'm talking about ketosis, autophagy, apoptosis. I'm talking about the Freemasonic, the ancient ways before the past 100 years have completely changed everything. Like the whatever, he thinks that the normal for life is the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. And all those different, what was the name of all of our textbooks that we had in high school? Letting out shots, and then I lay down thinking I'm dead. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't give him the full treatment, but we'll see. He was obviously coming from negativity, and then he rose out of it just a little bit, and I felt a little sense of compassion. So I didn't just do it. But there are people that sit there in such a ball that all they can come up with is like this attack. It's just this negative, trying to throw whatever shit out that they can. You feel me? There we go. Yeah, isn't it crazy that elephants do moon rituals? That elephants have a formed religion? That all elephants have naturally in their genetic structure when they come up, even if the elephant isn't part of its tribe and it's a lone elephant, it still does the same moon ritual where it takes energy from the moon together, and they all get together and they talk amongst themselves. That's what I don't know, talk amongst themselves, but they all work together to do this sort of ritual that takes in energy from full moons. Yeah, your frequency is what you frequently see. That's what I'm learning about the 11. People born on the 11 see the world as the reason that they're emotionally vivid, and they see things at such a more meaningful, insane amount of depth and range of information. It's like our whole world is perceived as a kaleidoscope. It's like it comes to us as a kaleidoscope. That's crazy. Black Rose has seen this guy on other people's streams before. We got Duckman. Laura's back. Laura was feeling... Oh, fuck you. Laura came in and said she's sad. She came back in a different font. Why does that look different than the other ones? Am I crazy, or does that Lauren's font seem different? That guy's gone. Duckman. So this is the year of the dragon, which means duck. Drake means duck. Black Rose is always on people's streams asking to be mod. Well, she's a mod for me. She did a good job the other day for a full moon rises tides in water and people. Hospitals keep more blood on full moons. Yeah, I mean, everyone's hustle's different. Black Rose must enjoy my content. Look. So I went to I told the universe to give me something left to right if I shouldn't. And then we have this white moth that I keep talking about that always flies around me when I go live. And it's landed on my lighter. And it won't leave. Even if I pick it up. And it flew left to right, meaning don't smoke this cigarette. Oh, I don't know. Ronald from McDonald's. I don't know. They're just trolls. Give them like 2 chances, and if they come in with like full negativity, like I don't mind trolls if they're just making jokes, but like have discernment, you know. You got it. Psalms. Yeah. At the dollar store, at the Dollar Tree, they have tons of products that have Bible scriptures on them, which is really cool. I don't know why some people such as you. Dude, I think it's funny, when I step back a little bit like this and it starts to be chill, every single time that I step back and I'm not teaching and I'm just sitting here, immediately a fight breaks out in the chat. Every time. But yeah, man, if I had $100,000 right now, I'd buy a little property, I'd set up a fighting ring, and I'd start doing live streams and pumping out content. I'd start to be a real positive change in my community. Who was that? Sierra. Sierra was having a tough time. Yeah, if people post their birthdays, I'll do life path readings. Teach you about individuation and help you find out how God created you. Kind of like speeding up your own personal ascension process. Because how the universe operates in wisdom, if you're still here, this is something I studied. The golden spiral, the Hopi prophecy, all the indigenous tribes, down to Teotihuacan, I think it's called. And then all the way up with the flower of life in ancient Sumeria. They have this thing called the golden spiral, this golden ratio, this big thing that you're going to run into as a software developer. Yeah, see? Hindu, mother of all religion, LGB is limitation. I think if you were typing that while I mentioned you, wisdom, that's called synchronicity. You feel me? Basically, this golden flower of life that as above, so below, as within, so without. There's like a principle, a structural foundation of this galaxy that deals with how all the information is expressed and how everything operates inside of it. So the shape of the Milky Way galaxy is that spiral that goes like this, like the snail shell that goes like this. How many times have you seen this? So different facets of that include the Hopis saying that their little personal network and community on top of that mesa, how they all interlock, the energies that came down to be processed, the problems that the people had in the town. They said that those were all small embodiments of these overarching grander issues and grander energies that were communicating and changing with each other and that was changing the structural informational code, the sauce of the whole place. And I think that Vermont is one of those. I think that there are different towns sprinkled in of the masses that are gifted this purpose, this little bubble, that deal with these big overarching problems where the small affects the large. That's why one man can change the world. And it's also like on the inside how your personal belief systems reflect what the CIA calls the holographic simulation, where our brain is producing this for us like a projector screen, and where this whole experience is created by our insides. So when you change the insides, as within so without, you can change your reality just by changing your mind and your thoughts. Great stream, fam. Appreciate it, Susie. We're going off. We got people arguing. We got, yo, what's up, Rose? How you feeling, Rose? Where are you coming to me from? He was asking me about religion, synchronicities, different stuff. What was I saying about the, I'm done giving you attention, Ronald. He's a troll. He got you. Be unreactive and just say nothing. I don't mind if you... Let's see. I don't mind you banning him forever. I don't mind you getting him going forever. You doing it? Yeah. I always do. Yeah, he's not trolling. What is this stream? I also watch out behind you. Is that me? Should we ban him? Hey, no, Black Rose. Yeah, Susie, I have a mod now. Look at this. Gone forever. We also have Susie, look. My white moth that follows me around all the time is just sitting on my lighter saying, no, don't do it. Don't smoke, Casey. Don't smoke. He's just sitting on my lighter hanging out with me. Hi, how may I help you? Blood fart? My Cash App's in my channel description if you want to help me save the world. I'm trying to get a computer and finish my album. I'm trying to get a guitar. I'm trying to get a JBL speaker so I can put it in my backpack when I ride around my bike and I can play Native American music that will wake up a lot of white Americans in these small towns, because there'll be a guy with the indigenous man coming in playing the Native American songs. It will set a new thing off in their mind. But I also want a guitar, make songs. There's a music studio not far from here. I have 5 albums. I have 3 TV shows I've written. I'm just trying to get to a position where I can do more and create better art for people, to help people. You didn't say English or Spanish, bro. You gotta say English or Spanish first. That's how it works. And now it's too late. You didn't do it the right way, brother. LOL, you wrenched someone? No, I hatcheted someone. No, she wrenched someone. I have Johnny Valencia's Native Blood. What's up, Haley? Awaken your white mind. Well, what white are you, brother? Yeah, you didn't do it the right way, Kyle. It's mute. It's invalidated by the fact you didn't go through the proper sequence of events. Me? What white are you? Are you English? Are you British? Where do you live? First off, let's awaken me. Let's awaken me. No, you didn't do it right, bro. It's like he who smelt it dealt it, right? Now he's banned forever. Polish and Mexican, which are both technically white. Mexican's not white at all, it's indigenous. We can own natives again now. I don't like that comment, brother. I don't know what that means. Polish and American. Polish? I don't know anything about Polish. We just heard that they're retarded. That's the stereotype. But where do you live, bro? Me, where do you live? Black Girl's going off on Johnny. I didn't read what he said. I was still focused on showing Susie that I have a friend that's gonna be with me tonight. And that's a good idea, actually. So because this moth had flown left to right the way that I asked the universe to do, and now sitting on my lighter, so I don't want to light it, now I have, I can do this whole night while I'm talking. Just filling up tons of cigarettes so I don't have to keep doing it. So I can enjoy my life later, delaying my gratification. That girl stay begging for mod. How do all you guys know each other, bro? I always know Susie's gonna come in with those big words. Big words. The syntactical nature of reality. Don't be kids. Come on, guys, I'm trying to wake you up to God. The syntactical nature of reality, the real secret of magic, is that the world is made of words. And if you know the words it's made of, you can make whatever you want. Yeah, I saw a literal YouTube short of that today that hit me a certain way. Joe Rogan was talking to Jordan Peterson right after, or right before he started talking about the acacia tree that I'm named after. Right before he went off about acacia, the Casey tree. He said pretty much exactly that, talking about how the world is made of words. That everything in life is words and spelling. You feel me? That's called synchronicity. Majority of Mexican people are majority European heritage. Yeah. I mean, yesterday we figured out, or 2 days ago we figured out that the indigenous people were dark skin. Really dark skin the whole time. The indigenous people were black. So a lot of black people that think that they're from Africa are actually indigenous. And that they kept that to continuously gaslight them for generations. Crying. Oh, I might die soon. And I lay down thinking I'm dead. Yeah, so Freemasonry built American society. Those Freemasons go all the way back to ancient Rome. The people that killed Jesus. And they built it with occult knowledge, so they purposefully took things out of our education so that we wouldn't come to this realization. So most of this is just people figuring out what those things were. What did they hide from us? What did they not want us to know? And a lot of it just has to do with the world being sort of like an alien dollhouse for energies to express itself between each other. To learn things and then leave. And that there's an infinite amount of realities that it operates inside. It's like a multiversal thing. And that time, they're just now coming out and explaining that time isn't real at all. It's just the present moment always. Even when you go back in time, it's the present moment. And you're just constantly jumping based on your insides, as within, so without. So the decisions that you make and the things that you hold in your heart and the reality that you want and the things you think about and the actions that you take and all this stuff is guiding you through different levels of the experience. And that's changing as we move from Pisces to Aquarius. Pisces is this constant swimming in with belief systems, this constant forward moving towards your dreams. Aquarius is just this big dump until the whole world is flooded with the present moment. Kind of like a wave. So Pisces is like going towards the wave out, and then Aquarius is bringing the wave back. Bam. And then we all live outside of our bodies in the dream realm, in the fifth dimension. So when people say we're running out of time, it just means that we're running out of time to be able to do certain things that we can do in the age of Pisces. Like fight really hard to get the pretty girl and then go on top of the mountain with her and have great sex at the top of the mountain. Who knows, like, I don't like what's happening next. The fifth dimension to me seems like I'm just going to be a tree. But, I mean, I can also see like tons and tons of the Caseys in the multiverse going out into other people's simulations and fucking shit up and making a difference. It'll just be different. So I think this is one of the coolest times to be alive, which is why we're all here. Like, I think we chose to incarnate in this specific three-dimensional timeline of the infinite to be able to experience how cool this is. Because this is really cool. And then I just have a simple teaching on how to make that more meaningful and better for you. Like how to heal your biology and change your life. That I just offer as value because I'm broken, homeless, and traumatized. And it's my way of making a difference. My friends and everyone that isn't dead in my life is dead inside, so I'm been through so much. I'm just grateful to wake up and then listen to my music every day and make songs. And then the universe gives me hard challenges every day. Very difficult choices and very difficult, vivid emotional experiences. But I guess it makes me stronger. I haven't lost touch with my inner child. And then I seem to be getting the things I need when I need it, as long as I'm going on the right direction. As long as I stay consistent and I work for it. I get things like a bike, or at the perfect time I'll get a dono, which is rare. But I'll get a dono when I need it. And then stuff like that. We have 2 cigarettes. Let me catch up with chat. What time is it? 4? Yep, but it's the weekend. What up, gang? They're just gang. I don't know. Change the narrative, change the world. Yeah, so I produce more DMT than the natural person. It's just something that when I was young, I was born dying and I had to be taken by helicopter to a different hospital and stuck it in like an incubation chamber or something. And people are like psychiatrists and stuff say I might be producing more DMT. And that would make sense why I just take a hit of weed, like a tiny, smell a little bit of weed. And I have what all these people go on Joe Rogan to talk about they paid $8,000 to experience. I just have naturally with a tiny bit of weed and this foundational understanding of the Higgs boson. And just decades of being alone in solitary, building Legos and walking through the woods by myself on top of a mountain. What's up, Juan? How you feeling? Everybody's coming for Black Rose today. Joe Blow's gone. Forever, bruh. Forever. You saw me, you going, Johnny. Susie's getting Divine was in the chat. We're doing some Sheboygan logging. We logging in Sheboygan, fam. Let him be. Hey, brother, what's up, Zoe? Yo, man, what you talking? Hold up, look. We're just getting them gone forever, bro. Yeah, Black Rose. I was just talking about that guy. I don't know how many people gone, but were they like? Did a bunch of people come in and just start roasting Rose? What up, Phoenix? Phoenix, you seem familiar. I think you've been in my chat before. Yeah, it's like I leave. The whole thing just break. Like as soon as oh, I said Rose. Just if they start targeting you like that, I don't mind if you ban them. But for the most part, give them like timeouts. See if they come back and keep doing it. Give them like 5 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on what they say. Because that's content. These people are content. It keeps the stream interesting. That's why they keep throwing haters at us. But some people just need the immediate ban, bro. It's powerful to see me not have to touch the phone and then they're suddenly gone. You feel me? That's a big experience for a lot of these people because they're always coming from jealousy. All this negativity is coming from jealousy. It's coming either from pride, jealousy, or their own self-hatred and aggression. So they see me as an extension of themselves, and it's making them hate themselves, so they try to down me to change my frequency to their level so that they can feel better about themselves. That's mostly what all these, any problem that you have with other people that spread hate like that, it's all something going on in their mind. John Hendricks, we don't want you, brother. Watch this. Yeah, you're gone too, me. Bam, 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 bam. I do need some people with financial aid. Mental aid? I think I just need to go, I think financial aid's all the aid that I would need, to be honest. Yeah. That was a personal issue that he had with me. There was something personal going on in his heart. That he wanted to gaslight me into feeling less intelligent. Because I didn't fit into his box, so that was weird. It's hard, man, because people will naturally want to love the camera and like try to build a personal relationship with everybody on the chat, and that makes it really overwhelming. So it's almost whatever I fall into, things that. Okay, I didn't have all messages on, so I might have been missing a lot of shit. Black Rule, he just puts him in timeout, bro. That's me. Gringo, how is Black Rose trash? What did I miss? What am I missing here? I'm just rolling cigarettes and talking about God and the universe, bro. Never see you through. Susie, how have you been? I haven't seen you in the chat for like a week, I think. Oh yeah. You like bananas? Not really. I like banana, Laffy Taffy. And I heard that that tastes more like bananas than bananas do. I don't really like roast beef that much either. I like watermelon sugar. I laid down thinking I was dead. Yeah, Gringo's gone forever. It's weird. In 2024, we got people like this. On gang. I don't know. We don't have anyone stepping in as mod. I don't think Black Rose is doing a bad job, man. I think I mentioned that Black Rose was doing good as a mod, and I was talking about how cool it is to have a mod. And then all of a sudden the mod started getting attacked. I don't know, how many streams are you in, Black Rose? I think it's just AI. I think they're bots. I don't think they're real. I think they're NPCs in the Matrix. But Black Rose, are you mods in other communities? What the fuck up does that even mean, brother? Who are these people? My algorithm is searching, the AI is relentlessly searching for these people and then putting them in my stream. Get your ass up and make Trump breakfast. What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean, brother? We'll never know. I'm getting too fiery with the bands. Lil RT, can you mod me? No. Lil RT is 8. This guy is an 8-year-old in chat, brother. Bong Ripper. Look at this. Is this the hole that Larry was talking about? Yo, if I ban anybody and they're still in the chat, keep jerking off, and one day your dad might be proud of you. I know if your dad came into your room right now and saw you, he'd be ashamed of himself for how he raised you. Unless he's just as retarded as you guys. Just got evicted. Alright, just be careful, bro. Don't let him take advantage of you. Like, I hope you know them personally. And that they're, you know, it's not my business, but like, find a way to have them help you and be of service, you know? Don't let them drain your life and your energy, because I know you're better than that. Don't let them take advantage of your kindness. Don't let them take advantage of your kindness, Susie. And I hope that they were actually evicted, you know, and they weren't lying to get a place. And you just, like, met them door dashing, and now they're in your house smoking crack. I hope, Susie, do you smoke crack? Do you and James be smoking crack? Or shooting up? I know you have a house. So you must have, like, at least a strong, healthy mind. And you work together to make something happen. I'm just worried about you guys, man. Florida's a bad place. Southwest Florida, man. Miami and the Keys and all that. Get them a BMX bike and set them up with a DoorDash account so that all day they can go out and ride their problems away. And get some money in their pocket. Might die soon. And then I lay down thinking I was dead. That was crazy. They tried to dethrone you, Black Rose. The Matrix came for you tonight. They were fucking with you. Now you know what it's like, Black Rose. They came for both of us today. That was weird. That was a weird thing that happened tonight. Shame. Shame on what? Shame. Just until Monday. Alright. I know you're older than me. You might be wiser. I don't know. I'm afraid because I know what it's like to care about people, bro. And have them take advantage of your kindness. Let's try to get 20 cigarettes. Until this moth leaves. It's just staying on my lighter. It's still here. Then I saw my mama crying. I said, Mama, what's wrong? Then I laid down thinking I was dead. I'm out of food and I'm hungry. I'm out of food and I'm hungry. But I cannot afford any food. Homeless encampments everywhere. You're okay. What's your main? Which one was your main? What did you say? Did I block you or I've missed a lot of I missed a lot of chat. Something happened. Something happened. I don't know how to unblock you. Yet. I haven't figured that out. Everything out. He's looking at my beanies. You must have, I don't know, man. I can't remember what you said. Come on, there we go. Usually, we get some psychology and mental health, personal development, improve skills, creativity, start negative or sad. Those to a bad, then it starts little with negative, jump in on the hate. I'm gonna let it go. Cigarettes. So I had 2 McDoubles. They cannot spend until I have at least a phone. So everything else is getting saved. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna be like that guy that popped in the chat asking for help for food. And I'm gonna have to go do what he has to do. Because I don't have the money to help him. But that guy was also 40. Okay. That. Tico, we let you slide. I know who Zugging my penis is. Yeah. I remember him. I don't remember what he said. But he gave me an ultimatum. He said, I was gonna give you $5, but you blocked me. Zucking my penis, are you... If you're under 18, don't bother donating, bro. It's okay. I'm talking about people that, like, have full-time jobs and shit, and they have, like, stuff that they would have spent on, like, an eighth of weed, and they're trying to quit. Or, like, instead of getting a donut, send me something to get a coffee when I need it or something, and then I have food for the whole day. And then they can go without their vice. Delay their gratification for a bit. I'm talking about people that are, like, working so consistently. Or people that are, like, are an architect. Shit like that. You know? People that get so much money. That sucks. Like, architects and shit, I hope they're gonna be able to utilize AI and things like the Unreal Engine. And it doesn't get taken out by ChatGPT designing architecture. I think if there was a god at that point, he would just call it quits because it wouldn't be fun anymore. Like, we'd elevate to the next level of experience. What are your goals, Milk? I'm calling you Milk now. Yes, me is a Leo that says that her gang stalkers follow her between live streams. Yes, me, don't you live in a... My goal is 1% for Casey. I don't know what that means. Me reaching the 1%, or like 1% of your income goes to Casey? Or do you mean 1% of your own life is devoted to me? Pursue art full-time, own my own business, and be able to pursue art. That's dope. I don't know, the best thing in life. How old are you, Milk? How old are you, Milk? What the fuck? Yes, me go. Yeah. What the fuck? Yes, me's got some anger issues. Milkbone's in his 30s. Milkbone's in his 30s trying to start a business. I don't know, man. Are you complacent? Milkbone, $1,100. What up, Haley? How you feeling, Haley? Were you here for the whole thing, or you missed out on all the drama? We had a lot of drama tonight, Haley. We had a bunch of shit happen tonight. Milkbone is in his 30s. Susie's got $1,100. Or something like that. I don't know, man. I know about stock trading. I know so much. I have a good spot right now, but need to work harder. She's stoned as fuck, and I missed it. You were getting messed up. Wake up, Haley. You're dreaming. Haley, wake up. You're dreaming. Haley, this isn't real. Mom crying. It hurts, man. It hurts. Wake up, Haley. Haley, wake up. You need to wake up, Haley. Go look outside. Go look at the forest. Really look. Go look at the forest, Haley. What's out there? What is that? What do you see, Haley? Bubblegum and limousine? Yeah. I mean, for the most, like, to me, business seems really easy. Being an entrepreneur seems really easy for me. But I just haven't made it to that threshold, and I'm kind of being a pussy with working a job. I feel like it's gonna mess me up and ruin me, but I guess that's called PTSD from past experiences. But I think that when you free your mind up from responsibilities, it allows you a higher bandwidth to be able to reprioritize, and then different ideas come to you. When you have a consistent work ethic of progress to put yourself in a better position with more potential, and then you free yourself of your responsibilities, it allows you to gain a better perspective of things. It allows you to do more stuff and understand things at a higher level so that you can do more stuff. Susie's trying to troll you, Haley. That's how Susie trolls. That's how Susie be trolling sometimes, Haley. Susie's trying to make a joke. I need like a tripod, man. That's what would really help me, bro. A fucking tripod for my camera. Because when it goes up here, sometimes the Wi-Fi cuts out. Nah. I love Vermont. I hate the people, but I love Vermont. Like, the people here, everyone's like, you have so much mental health illness, blah, blah, blah. If you guys could see the people that I deal with on a daily basis, you'd realize how healthy I actually am. In comparison to the average, like if you just walked through and saw what it's like here, and shit your pants, and how just like gone everyone is mentally. Even if they're not gone, as in so completely out of touch with. Because like I talk about stuff people think are crazy. How's this? Yeah, I talk about stuff people think is crazy, but I talk about it with a natural, like, I'm not like screaming at you to come to Jesus. Like, the stuff I say sounds pretty, like, I say it in a pretty rational way. You feel me? I'm not screaming at you that this is, like, you're gonna die if you don't do it. I say that, like, you're gonna have a really tough time dealing with the world the way that a lot of people see that it's going if you don't kind of take control of your physical and mental health. That's like the basis of everything that I say. People are like, you're fucking insane and you need help. And I'm just like, hey, if you stop eating sugar, you're going to eat the parasites in your system. And that there's a system in place that was hidden from us because they farmed us to be slaves. Like, I mainly have like 2 messages that I just keep sharing. Yeah, Milkbone, where do you live? Yeah, sure. Go for it, brother. Haley, I'm way better when I don't smoke weed. Like a group of people. To go live. Yeah. Is it back now? Are we back? It's like a sweet spot I have to be at. Might die soon. And a bullet straight through my head. And I lay down thinking I'm dead. Mama crying, said don't die soon. This moth is still here. This moth is resting on my lighter. A little bit, not bad. There's no real spot I can put you guys where you can get a good view of the environment without it being loud. Bullet straight through my head. Then I laid down thinking I'm dead. Mama crying, said you don't die soon. I'm trying to find a spot to put you guys where the Wi-Fi can come. Let me grab this real quick. Hold up. Chat. Proud of you, Casey. Thanks, Susie. Thanks, mate. Mama crying. How's this? How's that? Yeah, I can't smoke weed. I can smoke weed, but I don't want to smoke weed. That's what I'm avoiding. All my mental illness is that I have PTSD, and I purposefully do not put any serotonin into my system. What up, Maddie? Yeah, I know. Hold up. Hold up, man. Look at this. Now I'm the architect. I have to break this apart. Saturday. Mama crying. Come on, bro. I'm gonna have to rip this in half. Perfect. Now this can go like this. I'm a fucking genius. Hi, Maddie. Hi, Maddie. How you doing, Maddie? How you doing tonight, Maddie? How you feeling, Maddie? There's a scarabeel here. Get fucking lost, mate. He's trying to eat my tobacco. There's two of them. How'd they even get here? Oh, they were probably on the cardboard. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Look at this. Chad, are we gonna save the world? Are we gonna save the world together, guys? Because I'm gonna need you guys to get together, and then when I give the go-ahead, you're gonna have to spam comment on certain artists and creators' comment sections and live streams. I'm gonna have to make you guys raid to get my message across. Say, the King of the North has summoned you. The King of the North is requesting your presence. Natalie, what's up, Natalie? What the fuck? It's local lavender. How the fuck you got your font like that? It's Toka Lavender. Right now I'm rolling cigarettes and waking people up to the universe so that they can fix their mental health issues and live a way better experience for the rest of their life, because I don't know how long we have left. In the hopes that maybe one of them gets rich and cash outs me enough so that I can make my dreams come true. And my dreams just involve helping others. Lay down thinking I'm dead. Mama crying. You might die soon. Then I lay down thinking I was dead. Bullets straight through my head. Mama crying. Said you might die soon. Monster and Smokes. That's how I'm feeling tonight, man. Monster and Smokes is only good when you can drive. When you can drive around with the Monster and Smokes. I liked it because the monsters gave me the energy, the nicotine gave me the stimulation, and then I would just find new ways to weave out of my own paradigm and grow into a higher set of consciousness. I would purposefully regress my brain injury so that I could fight back to a different state of consciousness. A different paradigm, a different mindset. Growing myself spiritually like a tree over and over again, and then making songs about it. Learning new skills with my art. I was going on my hero's journey. Now I just have a bunch of relationships with people in the town that are fucking me up. I'm in a different environment now, and the local crackheads have come to ruin it. You fucking feel me? That's why I sound different than I did in Montpelier. That one was good. Mama crying, said you might die soon. Then I lay down and I'm dead. Only strength in my head. So, I have 5 albums. The one I'm working on right now, I have about, there's like 90 songs on the album. And every day I just play it through how I feel. I find the right sequence that I want the songs to go, and then I just filter out the ones I don't like. So it's constant filtration of the bad ones, and then making the ones I like better, and then adding new ones every day. So right now, like, of these 5 albums, should I say that? I don't think I should say their names or anything about them, but they all have about 80 songs each right now. And then the only thing that needs to be added is like the stuff that I need to be in a studio for. And then once I have a guitar, then I'll really I'm just gonna gut them all again and then rebuild them better. So I have like the best thing I can come up with what I have. And the universe provides me, like, I have a song that I need to make, and I'm trying to make it a certain way, but I don't have a studio. Then somebody with the initials KC, like Kofi Cooks, Cassius Culpepper, people with the KC, they show up on my algorithm and they have the exact song that I was trying to make, but I didn't have the means to. They've brought me a free YouTube beat. That's exactly what I was looking for to make what I need to happen. Just like I have this nice bike now, and I have this cool chair, and I found this little alcove in the trees that nobody knows about that I can sit at all day. No, it has to be a studio, bro. I'm looking for compressors, I'm looking for CLA vocals, I'm looking for isotope. Things that cost, like, if I were to get it on my own computer, it would cost me like maybe $2,000, $3,000. You feel me? Why wait when you can get started now? Why aren't you running a business to work on your art? Just probably use installation discs. They use installation discs for Isotope 11, like the newest form of isotope. Installation disc? You mean like the ripped plugins on Reddit? Is that what they're called? I lay down thinking I'm dead. Isn't it crazy? Like every time I go live, I get a tarot reading of somebody screaming at me never to go live again because I'm pandering to people that, like I'm wasting my time basically. They're like, we're really happy that you're inspiring so many people and you're helping people start YouTube channels and make their music and feel more comfortable in the world. But they're like, Sagittarius 33, I'm getting the color orange, I'm getting tons and tons of leaves, like you must be in the forest or surrounded by leaves. I'm getting white moths. I keep seeing white moths, the tarot readers say. And they tell me to stop going live. They tell me to stop. You're wasting your time and your efforts. We're really just here for the native juice, but if we're waiting for the native juice to show up. Because I want to ask him. I had a dream that he took me to a Native American powwow. And then he left me there. Like we got to the entrance. And then they were like, he's not from a reservation, do you vouch for him? And it was like, fuck no. So I brought him all the way there and brought him back to his community just for him to leave me out in the cold again. So I wanted to ask, like, yo, do you want to go to a powwow? Lay down thinking I was dead. Mama crying. Said don't die soon. And I lay down thinking I was dead. What's up, Heather? This is the first time Heather's commented on a live stream in months. Did you have to make a new account? My fault. I don't know what happened there. People are saying, there's a way. I've gone to my settings and looked up blocked accounts and you didn't come up. But then I didn't see your comments. Sometimes I saw your comments, sometimes I didn't. I didn't know if you were being active or not. I was confused, but I really appreciate everything still. Somehow Heather has the sixth sense of right when I need something to get me past this like big level in life. And then I like look down because I'm like stressed out. I'm like freaking, I don't know what to do. How the fuck do I get out of this? What the fuck am I gonna do? And then Heather's got me with the prayer hands. So Heather's kind of forcing me to come back to God. Like I'm always sitting, like I sit all day and I kind of cuss God out a lot. I'm like, why the fuck are you doing this? Like shit happens to me and I sit there like, my God is not good. My God is cruel. I don't understand how anybody could do that to somebody. Why do you keep doing this to me? But then Heather sends the prayer hands emoji, so that brings me back to thinking that You gotta just have faith and power through it. Yeah, so Black Rose couldn't comment either. I have faith, but I don't know if the thing in charge of this 3D simulation is good. Don't they say Satan is the god of the world? And God is the god of everything? And that Satan is bad? So when the world keeps treating me horribly, and I hate the world so much, but I'm like, God made that. God made it that way. But I also recognize I haven't read the Bible to cover to cover. You feel me? Gain shivers. Don't kill anyone, I'm close. One day, maybe. Look at these guys. Let them talk. Let's see what they have to say. Let's see what they have to say, man. What do you guys have to say? Do you have anything of importance? Can you offer any value? Do I hate you? I don't know, what did you say before? Don't kill anyone? Look at emo. How old are you, Gain Shillis? This guy named himself as another... he named himself after another man. That's gay as hell. Are you up for the day or are you going to get some sleep? I don't know if I'm going to get some sleep. Depends on how I feel, how the weather is. I got my bike now. I'm feeling rested. There's a bunch of trails around here I might want to hit. And I've got all these cigarettes now, so I don't have to sit around rolling them. It just depends on how I feel when the sun comes up. For all indigenous people out there, my advice is get that technology in hands and keep that family lifestyle, your generation. There's a lot of indigenous content creators I'm seeing that are using AI to make cool content. Yeah. We've exposed Gain Shillis as someone with homosexual tendencies. And now he's getting more emotional. His stuff isn't hitting as hard. Because we got him. You stream, you did it. Milkbone, that's why I'm going like... So I have a threshold of like things on my to-do list that I need money for. The first thing is that this phone destroys SIM cards. So I need a second phone that can have the SIM card and straight talk. And then I can show you what it's like to be out there. How crazy it gets. Like I have videos of like the crows come up because they feel the high vibrational energy and they're trying to dominate and destroy it. How they tend to keep people stuck in a state of fear. We have, I have tons of videos about gang stalkers and fat white women out of their mind that come at me all the time, and random people, like you can see in the chat, like the hate raids of people that are like below this threshold of consciousness, that are stuck and they're trapped and they're begging for help online. You feel me? Not begging for help, like help me with money. I'm talking about like they come out here and the things that they're saying to hurt others are cries for help. We have stuff like that. And then I have like, you know, how making the like the first threshold is getting the ability to make content. The next threshold is getting the content better. So I'm talking about like putting a camera on a tripod, putting Native American music on my back, and a nice JBL 3, JBL Charge 4, the newest JBL, on my back, blasting indigenous music, riding my bike like a horse around with the Native American headdress on, going through white America and filming all the reactions, just seeing how mad everybody gets, because it's a disruption to their system. It'll force them to wiggle out of the wicked webs they wove. Lord knows how many miles that I drove for my soldiers in the cold New England snow. And we're used to being broke. Month-old roaches, keeping heat from kitchen stoves just to find a way to raise above our wolves. I took all their finds and folded them into a rose. I built a castle out of victories to keep out all the moments that I froze, so you never see me sat around singing So It Goes. What's a big house if you're never there? What's a good life if you're not aware? I used to try and fix your problems, now I couldn't really care. Last summer was great, I did it all. It's a shame that you ain't made it. There's a party at the lake if you can make it. You can pull up, find a way to break away from all your walls. No matter how big you get, it won't matter in the end. So just stay above depression and spend some time with all your friends. And when you're tired, want to jump back into bed, just enjoy the fall. Enjoy the fall. That's called Fall. It's on my Storm album. Other notable mentions on Storm include The Storm, Thunder, Auschwitz, Sad Face Emojis featuring Johnny Mike, featuring Alex Kehoe, featuring Ryan Sweeter, Float featuring C.416. And then we have 4 others I'm really proud of that I'm working on. And then we have 3, so far we have 3 TV shows. And not a lot of time. But I'm not going to give up. But I am just going to work slowly. You feel me? Susie and her husband, James, I think they used to follow the Grateful Dead, right? And Susie is also Susie makes content on YouTube. So Susie, I don't know if Susie, did you follow, yeah, thanks Heather. It's a, hopefully, at some point I want to pay somebody to go through all the content, or maybe AI, and just have like a 15-hour Casey marathon of like all the best bits of the story and all the most beautiful way to piece it all together so people can really realize the things that I'm saying and how it works. And then eventually maybe move on, like if this is just like monologuing. It's like monologuing in co-creation with the universe. And Heather's been the longest subscriber so far. Heather can vouch that there's been some really beautiful moments here that God and the universe has set up serendipitously. I know there's a couple people that were subscribed before Heather. Like a guy named Leo or Leon. So they were there at first. Like I used to get like 10 views per video, and I only had 10 subscribers. Now I have like, I don't know where I'm at. Have I passed 320 yet? No, that I can't give you the right, like I can't cite my sources right now. If I had another phone, I'd Google it for you. But I know that there's traces of humans, like the indigenous people and the indigenous content channels. That's dope. 335. That's a big jump. Usually I get like 6 or 7. In 2 hours I got almost 20. And I think this might be the most likes I've had in the live stream. Yeah, the indigenous content creators are saying that there's evidence of indigenous people something like 100,000, 200,000 years ago in America. Like, we know, like, do you know about Tartaria? Do you know about Tartaria? Do you know about the Moor family and that there were seafaring ancient civilizations? Look at how much we've done in 200 years. Imagine what the people were doing 200,000 years ago. Because 2,000 years ago, they were talking about the same esoteric spiritual practices we're talking about now. You feel me? I don't like iPhones, personally. I don't care if the quality's lower. You feel me? I don't like iPhones. Fuck iPhones, man. I'm not on an Android. I think I'm on a track phone, bro. I'm like this close to a flip phone. Bum 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 bum. Were you there? Yeah. As soon as I tried to engage with you, a crow called. So you're gone forever. Hold up. Let's see if he has any. Let's give him one final out. Let's see what he says. Demons in the tech. We will all restart once again, but that's how it. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Is that the same configuration that the pagans would summon negative demonic entities to into their space, into their mind. Come on, give us give us something of value. Give us one thing, something that isn't buddy. Raise your vibration a little bit. Come on, produce some good content for us. Wake up, Trump 24. We know he's gonna win. It's destined, and then his son goes back in time, and he does Baron Trump's Great Adventure. Look up that book, buddy. Baron Trump's Grand Adventure, where his dad becomes president, gets a lot of power, his dad Don, and then Baron Trump uses time travel to go back in time. And I think it's to stop robots, right? But I'm tired and I'm on a lot of monsters, so. And I'm not coming with a lot of heart. It's because we already made it through a couple hate raids. When you're tired, want to jump back into bed. Just enjoy the fun. When you're tired, want to jump back into bed. Yeah, see, he can't reach a certain threshold. He's stuck. His mind is stuck because he doesn't deserve a higher level of consciousness because of who he is. He's stuck. He's stuck in a lower density. He's stuck in groupthink. He probably has a lot of problems, and he probably has a bad home life. Like, if it's a guy, he had a bad father. Most likely he had a bad father that might have raped him. That's what, like, you gotta take into consideration who's scrolling live streams to listen to other people talk. Everyone's different. Yeah. I definitely get how, like, people should be wise if they're going to be running a country full of millions and millions of people, that they should be wise, you know, long time of education. Love you too, Haley. Where's Niso? Where's everybody else? We need Haley in the chat. What's up, brother? How you doing tonight, man? Garrett Buckmaster. I'm doing good, man. How you doing? Where are you coming to me from? I want to know where the algorithm puts me. Right now, we're sunning haters. We're talking about the universe. We're talking about mental health issues. We're talking about... I also have a lot of advice on relationships and social skills. And then a lot of... I just go off what people ask me, really. Like, if people have questions, I'm like ChatGPT, where you like feed me a question, and then all my life experience and all my role models and all my mentors, I come up with a good thing for you. He's in Middle Tennessee. I knew you were Southern. Middle Tennessee. I do live chats too. I'm just trying to show you some love. Yamaha live chats be about mental health issues in the universe and stuff like that. Yeah, that's all really. When you go live and you're just chatting, all you can do is react to videos or end up talking about God. Like, if you watch everyone on Twitch that's just chatting, they're trying really hard. Like, watch those just chatters. When they go off on conversations, they have to go, like, in depth onto people's, like, you can see that they're actively avoiding building up a higher level of the theory of everything. That's all they do. You can see that they're, like, struggling to come up with things that aren't talking about the universe. Because that's what we've been doing for thousands and thousands of years, supposedly. Is just sitting around a campfire talking about all the shit that we see in our mind and how everything works. And then we just joke around with each other. So maybe I'm embodying the autist, so that you guys can go back and enjoy social life. Because you have me now. I'm like the hermit in the garden. I'm like the statue on the wall that I get to be the weird guy, so that you guys can go back to being normal. I don't know. Everyone's on their different hero's journeys. Back to monkey. Man, I should, like, if I had one of those big portable power stations, and I have the campfire, I can feel the hate, bro. We're living in a matrix. Yeah. The fire was dawn catalyst for evolution. It was where our brains grew out more due to active recollection. I mean, none of us were there. We have no idea. This whole thing could only be 200 years old. And it could be a computer game that we co-created. And then all of that stuff was like left to be part of the game experience. We have no idea. We have no idea what happened past our great-great-great-grandparents. We know that there are whole ancient civilizations. Like, I'm in Vermont, right? This is where Tartaria was. That ancient civilization that people say got destroyed, and the Freemasons blocked it from history so that we wouldn't have any idea that the indigenous people were actually like this big ancient culture that went to war with the Freemasons. And then they made up everything else to keep us from realizing what they did to the people that were here, to the Tartarians, with the mud flood and all that shit. We have no idea what really happened. But we know that people are... Oh, I'm in Vermont. A lot of these hills, when you go through like all these valleys and hills, there are ones that look just like the pyramids in Mexico that they were like, what is that? That doesn't look like a mountain. And they sent a drone over it to do LiDAR. It's called LiDAR. It sounds like lie, don't get freaked out. But LiDAR, where they looked down and they did like an inside topographical map based off like frequencies and lasers and shit. And they found that there was a giant, huge ancient city buried in mud. So they started digging it up. And now they're growing another Machu Picchu. They're excavating out another Machu Picchu that was there. An ancient civilization, like New York City. That's made by these giant pyramids that you need like heavy machinery that would be hard for us to make today. You feel me? So I'm in that, and there are mountains that look just like that mountain in Vermont. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to find that Vermont used to be a hub, and that's why we have all these UFOs here. Vermont, like, it's really foggy tonight, but pretty much every night I look up and there's UFOs just flying around. There's stars that look like satellites, but they don't move as a satellite does in a straight line in orbit. They're just floating over one town, and then they dart over to the next town. And then they're stagnant, and then they dart over to the next town. Or sometimes they go really slowly, so that people think that it's a satellite, and then suddenly it turns completely, and it goes out of the orbit. And they all go behind Mount Mansfield. And then we see sometimes in Lake Champlain, if you stay up at night, the fog will open up a perfect circle, and people will feel a pull. They're being pulled upwards. Their consciousness is being raised, and their mind is expanding in connection to the thing that's invisible floating above them, causing a perfect circle in the clouds. And I've personally had that, and I've had UFOs, and tonight I saw a giant being of light just pop out of nowhere for like a split second, and I felt like all the cells, like all the hairs in the back of my neck went up. And I felt it like rearranging shit for a couple seconds. It's not drones, bruh. Drones do not go that fast. I'm talking about like whoop across the sky. And then it just stops like that. But I mean, it could be like it could be human technology, and this could be like a giant social experiment. Like, remember those games that Vanoss used to play? The Gary's Mod death runs, where they have some people that are operating the simulation and some people that are in the gauntlet? It could be that. I had a dream that was the case, where I was operating the gauntlet for other people. Yeah. Heather been seeing UFOs. So, Heather, if you called a shooting star and you saw it like that, that means that wherever you were at, you were able to allow for a higher dimensional entity to reveal itself to you. So you had all the necessary codes, maybe from listening to me or maybe just your own journey, that an angel or an alien or something else was able to enter your reality. And that was its way of showing itself that it was real. For whatever reason, it was a learning lesson, like to open your mind to other things in the future. Have I ever been abducted? I've been in situations in reality, so 3D, so the people had bodies, but the whole spiritual essence of what I felt was going on, that when I tuned into that, it felt like I was being abducted. Like I've been abducted physically. Like kidnapped like I'm on a mission to do something, and then I'm literally taken, and I'm forced to do something else. And the people don't feel natural. It feels foreign and alien to me. Like the people's presence around me triggers the uncanny valley. The most recent time, I mean, I did have a crackhead that was following me around, and everything he said and did was like exactly how I used to talk and act last year. So it was like a crackhead that had checked out was being possessed by something that was talking and acting like I used to give me kind of like karma, where I was experiencing who I used to be. So like an oversoul or something, or an alien took Casey and then threw Casey back at Casey, so I could see how far I've come. And then before that, we had a woman with gray skin and completely black eyes. All black eyes, gray skin. And then she had dreads that were up, and then she had the black tube, felt scarf thing, shawl, whatever you call it, that had her head looking like the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the elongated skulls. And I could feel her before she even got on the bus, because I recognized how alien that felt to me. And then the whole bus was empty, and she chose to sit right in front of me with her back turned, and I could feel it herself like unflower and open up, and it was this dark, disgusting, negative, gray vortex that was just taking everything that I had and trying to like convert it to her. Like she was absorbing my presence, and I didn't know I was trying to keep it all in. I started like doing the skills that I'd learned, and I got her some places, like I had her twitching and angry, but for the most part it was like there was so much else going on. Like there was also her, and it was also like maybe her ancestors or other beings that were coming through her genetics and impulses into this third dimensional space. And she was right in front of me. And then as soon as I felt like I had lost everything, all I could say is like, whatever you needed it for, enjoy it. I worked really hard for that. I'm the last person you should be doing this to. And she was like, white boy, white boy, white boy. And then she got up in this old woman, got up in a full sprint, sprinted off the bus, got onto the next bus before I could leave, and she ran into the bus and took my spot. And then she was sitting there the way that I used to sit when I was feeling really confident about myself, when I like to sit back and like put my arms out and just like enjoy life. She was sitting like that with a huge So I got on and I was really tired. I had so much shit happen the past couple days. Like, it's not just her. I have like fat white women that are so out of touch with reality, they're being controlled, and their impulses, they like get in my face like this. Hi, Casey. And there's just something that she's mad about, something she made up, and she thinks that I'm I'm also angry with her about that. So there's like this competition and anger, and I don't know if she's real or not, because why would anybody act so erratically at someone that's never bothered them? So she's like going out of her way to try to ruin my day, and I'm just like passed out at a public park like this, and she's like in my face like that. Why? So I had to deal with shit, and then I feel like all this, like, I naturally want to empathize and get to the bottom of why that happened, and then when I do that, I feel like I tether myself to their network of bad vibes, and then all of a sudden I'm like, they've started stealing and channeling my bandwidth to try to manifest things, stuff like that. So I'm already dealing with that. I'm overtired. I'm trying to take my bike and get it fixed, and I'm going through this whole thing just to have an old woman steal my soul energy, whatever my life was, and then in a full sprint healthily go and then start to act and talk like me. So I just said, what? I went, what the fuck? I got on the bus and made eye contact with her doing that. I was like, what the fuck? So I took her spot and sat there, and I just leaned back, and I was like, if God is good, he's going to punish her in front of me. That should not be okay. If God is good, I'm going to receive karmic retribution for that. Smite her. Put her down. That's not okay. Why are you doing this to me? You feel me? And then nothing happens. Some Mexican girls get on. They're having a good time laughing. There's like a guy that's socially awkward. She gets off the bus and she walks out, and I feel like drained. I just feel empty inside. And she walks out, chest out, walking like she's going to conquer the world, and she's this old woman pushing past people to get to her job because the 33 life path super ego got her. I don't think it has anything to do with race. I think that was something else with the white boy. I don't know why. Then I get off, and then I'm immediately met with the same sequence of events when I have another energy vampire crackhead that wants to talk my ear off and then get in my way and then subtly dominate me because he thinks I'm not paying attention. So we have that guy in my ear just talking, and we have to wait for the bus. And then we have a bunch of really, really pretty girls that are walking by, and I feel like they are attracted to me. There's a positive vibe going, but because I'm next to this crackhead that's talking, I feel them lose interest, and that feels like it attacks my identity. And because he was overbearing, he was also kind of doing that, so it feels like he's like taking some of that somehow. And then he got on the bus and we sat opposite each other. And then there's the big reveal at the end of the attack where it realizes that the whole time he was more smart and he was just pretending to try to rope you into a psyop. And then he starts to try to dominate everybody and then leave with all the power. And then go have a more fun, meaningful life with all the energy that he'll later convert to crack, get depressed, and then get up and go do it again. And it's like a game for them. So I had that, and then the guy's name is always somebody from my past, so it's a reoccurring name, always. It's like one of 15 names, and they all have a certain purpose. Like the ones that keep trying to overstep me have a certain name, and the ones that keep trying to get in the way of my personal relationships have a certain name. The people that are in my facet of music, my love for music, and that journey I've been on, that aspect of myself, the person that wants to stop that and cut that off has the same name. So I'm getting a very good idea. Like I can tell now. I just assume that's gonna happen. You feel me? And I'm not gonna say the names because fuck it. But I'll tell you that like, it also depends. There's more factors to it, like the year. So a good example this year is that the people in my life that are the year of the dragon, born in 2000, the big most impactful names for my story growing up, the people that I was around most, like my best friends, were people. So I'm born, I go to school, my best friends, and I'm just out of it building Legos, wandering around, and these people come up to me. So the people that came up to me that really wanted to be my friend was Sam and Jack. And then Jack would always trade Pokemon cards with me. We would pretend we were in Star Wars together. I'd go to his house and we'd talk about aliens that were praying mantises. We talk about what if alien praying mantises came and tried to kill us? What would we do? And I'm like, I don't know. I'd fight them with a lightsaber. And he's like, but what if the praying mantises were trying to kill us? What would you do? If they were alien praying mantises, what would you do if they were trying to kill us? And it's a kid my age, and we're both just sitting outside in the sand pit with like his little garden hoe, pretending we were digging. And he's like, what would you do if they were praying mantises that were trying to kill you? What would you do? What would you do if they wanted to kill you? And I was like, I would take a lightsaber and I'd cut him up. And he was like, no, Casey. And now I recognize, okay, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then there was another kid named Sam who we'd always run away from school together. Every time me and Sam hung out, all we wanted to do was get all the kids together and then get them out of the playground and get them in the woods. We would, like, every time we were around each other, we were always really hyped up. We're like, we got to get the kids together. We got to get them out. Get them over this fence, get them through the woods, and get them to the Austin school. And then up the hill, onto the trail, and then we're gone. All we have to do is get the kids out. So we kept running away consistently. And we kept trying and trying and trying. The only person that believed in us was a girl named Michaela, who eventually she fell into groupthink social conditioning and started to call me Crazy Casey. So we watched her fall from grace. She fell into the groupthink, and then she started going around saying, that's Crazy Casey. Call him Crazy Casey. Everybody. So everybody started calling me Crazy Casey and not listening to me when they were everything. I said, we're going to play this game now. We're going to play this game now. And usually I'm just the quiet kid with the stuffed dog that he holds like the Anunnaki statue with the lion. And I had a hat on. And I would just walk around and just do my own thing, building Legos in the back with the para. And then I'd get up and say, let's play tag. And then everybody would come together and listen to what I said. But then we had these people that were like, don't listen to him, don't listen to him, don't listen to him, don't listen to him. And me and Sam and Jack were trying to get everybody out. Fast forward, so I left that school. I went to a different school about 4 years later. So that was elementary school. Right at the end of middle school, when I went to the birthplace of Brigham Young, the founder of Mormonism, where he lived, when the angel came through and told him to go to the top of the mountain to get that breastplate, I would hang out at that mountain where he got the breastplate with an Irish family of 11 where they had one of every of the, or 12, where they had one of every of the zodiac. And my best friends were Sam and Jack. So I left Sam and Jack in Brattleboro and I went to the top of this mountain, and then another Sam and Jack came to me. And now my best friends are Sam and Jack again. And what do I do with Jack and I hang out and we talk about creative stuff, and then Sam and I go out on missions. And they're Irish, Kehoe, the Irish horse. Kehoe means horse, but it also means keyhole. And they have one of every zodiac. And the names of the people are Robin and Dan. Like my sister's name is Danielle, and I raised a family of Robins. Those are called motifs. Those don't seem interconnected right now, but I guarantee you if I went through my whole life story or I wrote a book about everything, you would be able to cross-reference it like the Bible. And be able to see all the different ways that they interlock when I tell this story. About all the times that I met these people and what they did for me in my life. All these different Dans that came in to elevate my experience. And they were in a position where I had to like impress them, and they were like this father figure type. And then I had Danielle's at my side all the time. Like my sister's name is Danielle. You feel me? But what else? So Jack and Sam and I, and then so Sam is a dragon. He's born in the year of the dragon, and he's an Aries. The girl, when my dad had a triplex, and he had a 4-story barn, and we had 50 cabins that mostly just had raccoons, but now we know those are bears. So bears, like raccoons are bears, they're in the bear family. When I talk like this, the way my forehead is shaped, I always have the raccoon eyes. So there was a family from Czechoslovakia that came in and lived on the top floor. And the dragon's name is Ariana the Aries, and her dad is in the Aryan nation. So we had the Aryan Aries named Ariana. And then we have Sam, and those are the two main dragons in my life, people born in the year of the dragon. So we know that last year in 2023 was Casey's year, the year of the water cat, and I'm a fire cat. Lyrans, my dad's a Leo, the O'Brien Lions on our patch, the Eagles, all this stuff. So, and Casey means a tree. And so Casey spent 23 years creating tons of different lives for himself, that when he tried to commit suicide, he lost everything, and he spent years trying to get it back to be able to share with the world. So he fought forever to free the slaves stuck beneath demonic and robotic crazy lady radio waves. I couldn't wait to show you the diamond that this pressure made from intense effort. How that together we could be something special. So I'm not going to read you guys talking about yourselves. I know you're talking about yourselves. I don't even have to look. I can tell. So in the year of Casey's water cat, where he's this tree, always fighting to show himself off to the world with his creative styles that he created, all these different characters of himself that he wanted to express to the world. In his year of the water cat, where he's supposed to be in his element, where he comes to success, embodiments of all those different aspects of Casey's character got to hit the mainstream and breach through to the world. We had Kai Cenat, Kurt Kaz, Kendrick Curry, Cassius Culpepper, Casey Rocket, the Kansas City Chiefs. KCC won the Super Bowl. And if you go back through Casey's life, you see that at some point in time, Casey pioneered that style. I used to riff like Casey Rocket. I used to travel and talk to girls as a pickup artist like Kurt Kaz. I used to sit at a screen making content and making kids laugh like Kai Cenat. Like my whole style was, yeah! Queso. Popped off in 2023. Queso. And my name's KCO. So now that 2000 has hit, all the Caseys have stopped. Kai Cenat went homeless. Kai Cenat and Ray went homeless. Cassius Culpepper, his song didn't do as well as it did. Casey Rocket took the back seat as the opener for Kill Tony. Francis O'Brien, his car broke down. He had to kill someone in self-defense and hide out in the woods. Casey O'Brien, the Caseys have all taken a step back. But guess who's in the forefront of all those places? Amelia Dimoldenberg, who does the chicken shop day. She went from Casey's Chicken to Sam's Chicken, like my friend Sam. Kill Tony, Casey Rocket got replaced by Ari. Ari's and Sam's are now hitting the mainstream this year. Other motifs, like people named Will. Will is a big thing that comes up. Kind of like Will survives, like Casey's always fighting forever to free the slaves. Will survives. William Montgomery took over, has been doing well. Will survives, has hit the mainstream. I know there's more. There's a lot of stuff happening on Joe Rogan. Like a lot of people that have these names are coming in on Joe Rogan. But they're just like characters that embody certain energies that I think that their whole purpose was to just be a place where they could express that energy in a certain way. And I think because of the golden spiral, there are some of us whose lives are focused more on creating that energy. Like I'm a fire cat, I'm the passionate creative essence. Those guys might not be fire, they might be air. Like Aquarius, they might be something that their whole purpose is to just express something that a fire sign created. So I think I think my life might be, it seems to be, at the very least, a factory. Where these small Vermont towns locked inside the mountains are all interacting with each other, boosting up energy, becoming something, individuating, and then it goes away and we are all empty again. Where does it go? Maybe it's going through my roots into the industry that I used to work for, and then somehow it's getting channeled through somewhere to those people. Or it's my simulation, bro, and that's just my personal story. I understand that because it's mine. It's for me. I'm the only one that can recognize how meaningful that was to see myself work for so long, to have all these different cases that I created fall off and not work, and I'm mad, like, why doesn't it ever work? And then I got to see them all hit the world at once, and I didn't have to sell my soul, get raped by a Jewish man. I didn't have to go through any of the hardships. I got to sit on my throne, exalted, and enjoy the show that I created. In the simplest form of life possible. So what I teach is just a better way for you to understand more about yourself so that you can kind of see that for yourself. Because if you found me, there must be more to you. You're not just a bot to receive to be like entertained by me. You have your own story and narratives. Since you were born, you've been co-creating this experience. So, and obviously, like, that seems out of there, but you can tell. And let's clip this. So when I tell you I have dreams that I'm a giant ancient soul killing Vikings and before I knew anything about eagles and masonry and how my dad looked like an eagle when he skied down the mountain, and before I knew my hair could get like this, where I ride my bike and it goes up like angel wings or eagle wings, and I have I have a Masonic jacket. This has the eagle on it, and guess it's got 3 sets of wings. It's got the gray, which is 1111, black and white together, and then it's got the 33 orange. You feel me? And that's on the inside. That's how you know it's Masonic, because they keep it inside, and it says Mission 6. It's called Mission 6. 33, 3 and 3, 6. Mission 6, 6 being home and family, so the mission would be about home and family, and I always think about other people, and I'm trying to save my family from these problems, to try to make all their dreams come true, and I degrade myself on the internet to try to find a rich man that can support me so I can help my father live his dreams before he dies. I can be there for the people that ostracized and gaslit me and were jealous of me and tried to steal what I had, to ego check me and then try to become me by stealing my literal identity, and try to invalidate me so that they can start acting like me and take my presence away, and then they'd go out and try to get bitches with it. And then I let them go, and now they're all considered schizophrenic, and they've gone completely insane because they didn't have me to leech off of anymore. So they come back crying with terrible art. Yeah, so the cure for drug brain is fasting sunlight probiotics, recalling all of your memories when you go to bed, laying down, imagine nothing, and then reverse and imagine everything. That can help you get more presence back to the I am space. And then you just hold that and you go through life, and eventually you learn how to operate as this kind of sun. I learned a lot by studying other astrological signs. Like I learned how to be a Leo in Leo season and be a Leo in this, and I would drive around in the year of the water tiger and water cat, putting it together. And then now I'm able to understand how the different elements of the different zodiac works, and I can recognize that I was trying to tell myself, like the same way who I am now, if I were to communicate with my past self and try to explain this information, I can remember being my past self and having this information come to me and being like, how do I just know that? When I was reading Catching Fire in the Hunger Games, and it was that big cycling simulation where it was different storms coming through, and it was all based on a clock. And then I was learning tons of stuff about that's us, and I was really identifying with when she got abducted and taken out of that and going to war. And what is Katniss? Cat. What does she do? She has the bow, like the Sagittarius. And I get, isn't District 11 in Vermont? Where Vermont would be? New England? I test out the theory every day, and I come to you live talking about it. And there's like whole video, like if you go back to facing off against the Matrix to save neglected cats. The universe really reveals itself there. You get when I ask for a bird, I get a bird. I ask for a butterfly, I get a butterfly. I show you that I have this preset path with my intuition where I'm going on this mission for a specific purpose. And I'm showing you as I'm going, all the bugs and the birds are congregating in that straight line that I'm going down. And I show you, look, there's no birds or bugs anywhere else except right where I'm supposed to be going. And then I tell you on the live stream, okay, I know he's activating, I know the Matrix is piloting him now, he's going to come try to stop my light. And then he does. And then you get to see him get his karma live, and you get to see me with my Sagittarius, whatever, not having the right patience necessary to care for the cats. And I lose the cats because I was impatient and operating from fear. So I had to learn how to sit here and be patient. And it was during Taurus season, and their big thing about Taurus is patience and love. So I was showing you that I hadn't mastered patience and love, and that resulted in me not getting what I wanted. And then, if you were watching at the time, for anyone that can vouch, I got a tarot reading the next week. The cat's name was Bear. I was making an album called Bear Cat. The album cover was red, brown, and white. And then a guy in a red, brown, and white box truck shows up with a cat named Bear. You feel me? So that bear, this is before I knew about bears and before I felt a connection to bears. I had this big, strong connection to polar bears because my dad and I keep finding these stuffed polar bears that we would keep on our dashboard. And then that turns out to be polar bears originated from Ireland and then goes to the indigenous. So there's that big connection already, indigenous in Ireland. When polar bears left Ireland, all bears came from Ireland. And then when they somehow found their way across, when the indigenous would go, the Inuit would go into their igloos, when a soul was ready, so they were able to see it clear as day because they had no technology and no matrix simulation. They were just out in the woods. So they would see when a soul had enough experience in its life and it was ready to ascend to the next place, the polar bear would come to guide it. So that would be like the embodiment of the ascended master, taking souls and bringing them to new stages. Just like I pick up people on my car and I would take them places. I'd take my friends on adventures. I'd take girls on dates. I'd pick up homeless people. I pick up roadkill on the ground and I carry it dying into the woods and I sit with it as it dies. Or I go on live streams and I take people on a long journey like this. And my dad, who, if I do this exponential stuff, my dad would be the most simplified, perfect version of that. The Leo Libra, the condensed heart space, instead of the Sagittarius Aquarius, this unfathomable. And my dad's born on the 10th. I'm born on the 11th. He's a 3 life path. I'm a 33 life path. Gary the Legend O'Brien would take people on the chairlift, and he'd just tell jokes of them sitting on the chairlift like a Leo, not climbing up the mountain like a Sagittarius, but taking them on the chairlift, and they go up, and then my dad would ski down the hardest trails with the wealthy elite's children, the reptiles, their children would go with him, and they loved him so much they brought him on the boats, they gave him a place to stay for free, they helped him with what he needed, they provided for him, and me, via that. What was the point? Oh yeah, bear. So when I was getting into tarot readings, so tons of people had come to me in random instances to talk about tarot readings, and hold up. Okay, I think we're still here. All the people in my chat just disappeared. It says you're no longer here. Okay, I had to renew my Wi-Fi real quick. But did you guys hear as soon as Susie? So someone in the chat needed to understand that nature was alive, cognizant, and responding. A bird triggered, and it started singing the not the bird sounds, but when they speak in code, when the birds talk directly to you, when the birds start to really communicate. And they don't just do the calls that they're like, the bird sounds. When they switch and they start to speak to you, The bird did that. I don't know if that caught up, but that reminded me. So there's a bird somewhere in this tree that shot the high vibrational light at me. The same thing that when I had that big opening up and I felt like there was this disgusting demonic insect thing. The birds at like 3 in the morning, the birds woke up and sang me back to peace, and I felt them spiritually destroy that thing. You feel me? Man, I don't want to block you because you're Irish, bro. You got to do better. You got to do better, brother. Wake up. The Irish people have been enslaved for a long time. The only thing cops found was a dirty mattress in those Jew tunnels. There's an entire city under New York City. What am I supposed to think, man? I don't know. Think anything. I'm waiting. He said meth. It's not meth, it's monster in the universe. I smoke cigarettes. So I don't know what I'm gonna do in the morning. This town is enough, like, this is a poorer town. So I don't think we're gonna have that many Karens that are calling the police like we had in Montpelier. This is natural tobacco. I want to see. Is that your real face, bro? I'm in Vermont. So, yeah. So what happened is, it changed like 6 hands. So where I left it, someone found it, and it had to go through like 6 different people, and then eventually it found its way back to me. So I did find it. Somehow it made its way back to me. I have a special disability. Yeah, you're ugly. That sucks. Appreciate it, Timmy. I can't smoke weed. I produce extra DMT, so I have the ayahuasca experience that people pay thousands and thousands of dollars to go down to the Amazon just to have someone psionically rape them. How do I survive out there? I didn't have to hunt or fish. I would dig through dumpsters. For the most part, I just kept persevering. I think I got Lyme's disease because I had like 9 ticks in my back at one point because I fell asleep out in the forest. So that shit had me weak. Like a lot of the Vivek Chronicles, when you go back to Vivek and I sound like I'm dying, I had like 9 ticks in my back I couldn't feel. That I would lay down and pop. And then I woke up with my back was covered in blood. Yeah, I can eat red meat. Right now I'm on a strictly cigarette diet right now because I'm broke. Trying to save up money for a phone that can have a SIM card. Right now I don't have a phone that can have a SIM card. It's not as good as you think it is, bro. It might be better in the future now that the world is getting better, but I mean, I've been eating burgers fine. Like would you count McDonald's as red meat? Like that's the only red meat that I've had is McDonald's. So would you count that as red meat or would you count that as GMOs, microplastics? What GPU? What does that mean? Shroomies? Yeah, the problem with mushrooms, when that entity grows in your brain and it tries to have a symbiotic relationship with you, if there are aspects to your personality and certain neural pathways that you've created through formative experiences, literal memories that you experienced, parts of yourself, of your life, that made you who you are, And the mushrooms don't like that. They will just erase it. They'll literally delete it from your hard drive and you can never get it back. So whenever you do mushrooms, it's deleting things of you that are you, and you have no idea you lost them because it's just gone. And the only way to get it back is to like take a fasting, sunlight, probiotics, ketosis, autophagy, apoptosis, omega-3s, multivitamins, lateral raises to get the lactic acid here, take a cold shower to push it past your blood-brain barrier, give yourself a little bit of brain damage just to stimulate the killing off of the dead brain cells, and then just regrow yourself through rest and consistency with that practice. And then you can be in a place to meditate, bring peace, imagine nothing, and reverse it, a foundational understanding of the God particle, the Higgs boson, and the bones and structures of this reality, the ones and zeros. And then you can come together and piece yourself back together from the dead. Bring yourself back in, force yourself back through, embody love, be the change you want to see, whatever, start to create your experience again, grow back out through yourself, and start to project the right experience and learn how to control reality again, to guide it in the right direction. And then you can recall your memories and just every night make a practice of going back to what you remember first, all the way up, and then that will start to regrow yourself back, and you'll start to remember more and more and more and more. And that's why God leaves things like motifs in your life, themes to your life, so that you can remember who you are better when you go through this gauntlet, as you get closer to ascending back and individuating back to discovering who you really are. And then when you get that connection to your most high, your oversoul, your connection, then you start to align yourself, which means all the different multiverse realities of you start to converge with your intention, so you can become more of yourself. And then as you keep going and getting more and more like that, you keep getting more, you keep powering through the gauntlet, doing what you're supposed to, living your function, your purpose in life, doing the things like that, and you get better and better and closer to yourself. You gain more experience and knowledge, and then when you die, however you are there, the more points you have, the more likely you are to reincarnate as an older soul, a better soul, a more experienced soul, so that when you restart the journey through that multiverse again, through that 3D incarnation, you can get closer and closer and closer to perfect. And then the more you do that, the more what you call an ascended master. And that's when you get to a 33 life path. Yo, Chino, keep jerking off, and one day your dad might be proud of you, but I guarantee no one in your family is proud of you. And if they are, they must be so mentally enslaved to think that you're just a hustler, bro. You might be grinding, but for the most part, they've given up on you ever being a valuable asset to the community, as anything more than a worker bee. The key to life is simplicity. When you free yourself from responsibilities, you allow a natural connection outside of the social matrix that allows you to make more meaningful decisions, more higher purpose, higher vibrational decisions. I naturally emanate a frequency that wakes people up to the fifth dimension, and it gets them so mad they come at me with hatchets on drugs in the middle of the night because their Viking ancestors told them to, not knowing anything about my Irish heritage. Their ancestors come into their mind like it does to every other culture but white people. And they tell them to kill me because I'm getting too strong. And that's an amazing story that I can share. That's a Joe Rogan worthy experience that I got because I didn't work a normal job. But look what I found just persevering and pursuing my dream. I just got this perfect bike that I look at, and it heals my depression because of everything that I've been through, and how the colors work and the symbolism of everything. When I look at all the different little stickers, the whole thing with how it's made, the shape of the handlebars, the feeling I have when I ride it, how fast I can go because of how much I've overcome starting from nothing, ascending from nothing to something, going from the bottom to the top as many times as I can, fighting the worst parts of society. This is the closest that you can get to being like a tribal warrior in this point in time, where I'm fighting crackheads with hatchets in my bare hands, gouging people's eyes out to stop them from choking me out, having to pick up my 280-pound father when I was 14 and whip him over my shoulder to stop him from breaking my Xbox, and then having to walk like 2 miles in the snow with nothing on my feet in negative 18 degrees and like a negative 40 wind chill, and it's snowing and my dad is driving by me trying to hit me in the snow, screaming at me, raging like a raging lion, just to get there with my hands purple and I can't move them, and I'm 14 and I'm on acid because I just did acid with Cheap Trick, one of the most famous rock bands in American history. on top of a mountain at the Hermitage Club that I used to walk by myself before they built this whole ski resort. So before all those people got to enjoy it, I knew what it was like beforehand. So they're technically living on the space that I had paved and cultivated over time. If I am just spreading my vibes like that, holding that space with my memories and keeping the presence going with my connection to nature, as I went back down the mountain and sat in the ski chalet at the very end of Hummingbird Way, surrounded by eagles and all these animals, and my dad with this Leo vibe, and holding that connection as they built on top of it, they structured that in my image using my unfathomable 33 life path master influencer energy. They built something up sitting in my aura that I created. You feel me? And then I've gone across Vermont so many times, and I've gone across the country so many times to meet leaders, and the things I say make them cry, and then they change their whole creative style to something that feels more like me from my reference experience I gave them. And now there's tons of people that sound and talk like Casey that are dealing with groups of people with over 20,000 to 300,000 subscribers. Owen Cook, Elliot Hulse, and then we're all pretty sure it's Kurt Cass, Kai Cenat, Queso, Casey Rocket, KCC, the Kingdom of Creative Champions, my group, the Kelly Creative Collective, a guy who copied my style, and then now he's doing music videos with A Boogie. You feel me? Something just told me, something wrapped around my head and said, less is more. When you have more responsibility, don't try to remove responsibility, but learn new stuff to keep your brain active. More responsibility, reduce your learning new stuff. No new stuff makes you dumb. You're saying you should have a consistent growth mindset. You should always be trying new things to keep adding experience to your life. So I hope you're talking to the subs and not me, because I just talked about like the whole multiverse and how we extend in different directions to learn more things before we realign and converge in canon events in the 3D from the 4D space, and our oversoul is managing all of us. You feel me? When you have more responsibility, don't try to remove responsibility. I mean, I couldn't have my own personal growth if I hadn't let my friends and family go. And I was in a position before where I was kind of helping caretake those people. Like in my family, I have a Leo 6 life path. Born on the 31st, which is the 4 energy, it's Law and Order. And every time I came and saw him, he was watching Law and Order with his mom, who was also born on the 31st. So they both are born on the day that embodies Law and Order, and every time I went to their house, they were watching Law and Order. And he's a Leo 6 life path named after a Roman emperor that he looks identical to, and his first name is Jesus. So I don't have to keep caretaking my family environment, but I had to consistently keep going to the house to make sure that he was running things correctly. So I'd iron out all the problems that my horrible family had instilled in him, and he had been kind of consumed by their wicked ways, and he had lost touch with himself, and he was making art it was all about demons. So I would come in and tell him all these righteous stories about all the things that I'm doing and God and all these amazing things I've done, and sharing my creative stuff, and that would literally raise him up, and then he was able to manage a whole community of people better. So he lived in Section 8 with no job, but he was helping manage the emotions and the creative passions, being a place of comfort during COVID in place for a Section 8 project community, where he was in the dead center on top of the hill, and he had all these people around him. But he was just sitting there animating and writing in a tiny little notebook, because we're poor as fuck. We have nothing at all. I have more than my family now. Because I have this bike, I have more than my family. Because I have this bag of cigarettes, I have more than my family. Yet, we're the ones that everybody comes to. My dad lived in the center of Hayes Court, named after the Irish god of fire. And my mom lived as an Aquarius at the front center at the top floor. And my mom just sat in her house. Aquarius Cancer. Processing all the emotions, taking in all the sadness as the Cancer, absorbing it all like a whirlpool, and then channeling a narrative with the Aquarius. And my dad was the angry Leo rampaging and beat it. One time, like this white English prick waited outside my dad's apartment just to give him shit when my dad came back from an adventure in his late 60s, riding his bike through town, humbling people, and just making jokes. And he always has girls in their 30s and 20s that have crushes on him. And he sits there as an Irish, born in the year of the monkey guy, and he's just having a good time, even though he has all these trauma and problems and addictions and shit. He has this natural story that's emanating from him and that's showing in his narrative. And they lived at a compound named after the Irish god of fire with nothing, but they end up managing all these people that have jobs almost like they're royalty, and they have slaves producing energy for them. And I'm the black sheep because I would dismantle everything and force them to have accountability and force them to drive everybody in the right direction. So that's why they're afraid of me. But they know me. And a couple times when it gets so bad that they just can't stop, and I feel it bad because I love them so much, and they come at me hard, and I start to feel them literally start to convert me, and I feel like my whole spirit's turning black, and they're cackling and smoking their cigarettes and eating ice cream and doing this horrible stuff, and the whole room starts to smell terrible. So I feel like my parents have been possessed by demons, and I feel like those things are using them to come at me, and they're showing off that they've got them, because my whole thing would be to try to help everybody all at once. So the way they target me is through the people that I love. And they're susceptible because of all the trauma they endured, and when I bring in that force of accountability, it gets even worse, and sometimes I lash out. One time I chose, like, exactly 10 years after, no, in my element year of the water cat, and in the year of the tiger before that, which is tiger is the fighting sign. It's based on fighting. I was with my dad in the car, and then he just did that, and I snapped, and I did everything he did to me back to him when I was 13. The same way he grabbed my leg and dragged me through the house screaming, "Get the fuck out." I threw him on the ground right in the middle of that same area when I had to walk in the freezing cold back then. We were right there, and I had my cat in the car, Mark, and I just threw him out of the car, and I did everything that he did to me back, exactly as he did it. So I pushed him on the ground, and I grabbed him by the leg, and he's this old man now. He's not this raging lion. He's an old man. So I just grabbed him by the leg, and I ripped him like that, and I said, "Get the fuck out of my house!" And I grabbed him like this, and I dragged him on the cement. I beat the fuck out of him. I scared him forever. I choked him out. And then he got in my car and drove away. Unless that was his car. I don't remember, but he got in the car and drove away. And then I had to, the same way that I had to walk out in the middle of winter freezing, it was in the middle of summer, and I was surrounded by fireflies the whole way. They stayed right next to me. A whole swarm of fireflies, so all these glowing lights around me in a vortex spinning, and I'm holding on to my cat he's never been an outside cat, but I raised him like my son, so he talks like a person. He talks with intention. He just doesn't have the language down. So he's like saying, "I'm scared, I don't know what to do, and I'm like, "Come here, bud." And he jumps into my arms, and the same way I had to walk that way, I walked towards the house with my cat, holding him like he was my son, with all the fireflies around me, after I just beat the fuck out of my father, who did it to me when I was 13. And I walked Mark back, and I got there, and I was so pissed at how unfair that is, and I should have a dad. I shouldn't have to do any of this shit. I shouldn't have to deal with it at all. So I took a rock, and I pelted it through his RV window, knowing he'll never have the money to be able to fix it, and that he's on somebody else's land. So I chucked a rock through his window, and then I left. I walked away. I went further than I went 10 years ago, and I stayed in a barn overnight with all the fireflies, and I just fell asleep. I woke up, and then I went to the neighbor's hot tub, and I sat in a cold hot tub in the middle of summer that wasn't on. But my whole thing is, I was supposed to have that house. It's a $1.5 million house the guy sold for $300,000 to go live on a boat in Mexico. I could have had that house, and I could have become the king of that town. I could have built a studio there. I could have grown tobacco in the back and sold it and weed. I could have had a gym up there for people because there's no gym in that town. I could have had a gym going. It's right next to the mountain. I could have worked at the mountain, gotten into office, and started restructuring that thing. I could have been around elites every single day, talking about making different charity organizations to help them launder money for taxes, and then I get millions of dollars from them. and then using it to build the community that's being raped by the rest of New England. They come in and just, they love to say they're conquering us because we're literally slaves working for nothing, getting kicked out of our own house because they raised the rent so much, and they're all on drugs. And then we have rich people that come and just shit on our face all day. And the only way that I didn't get it is because I'm supposed to be more assertive and I'm supposed to tell these people what to do. I'm supposed to tell them, shut the fuck up and do push-ups for 2 weeks. Save your money and put it here. Save your money and put it here. Give me all your fucking money so I can store it and we can move it to this and then we can get it going. Don't buy the car yet. Invest it in this. Wait. Be patient. I'll get you a bike. Get you a bike. We turn it to an e-bike. Then you can go e-bike and do something and enjoy yourself. I'll teach you how to cultivate a garden and have this creative hobby. Don't throw yourself in. Be patient like this. I had all this stuff, like don't sell the house, make sure to convert the cabins, work on one, do like 5 feet of space a day, make it perfect, clean your house, clean your mind, clean your body, make a vision board, write down all your goals, and just slowly work towards it. We're gonna, all together, we're gonna drive ourselves back into being in a better position with more potential to do more. But when I was like 8, how do you say that when you're 8? So my parents didn't say they loved me. They didn't really ask me any questions. My mom would make me pizza, and I had all the Legos that I wanted, so it wasn't horrible. But I also, like, I don't think we ever said I love you. We didn't hug. We just weren't that type of family. But we could sit together and make jokes all day. But suddenly when I start to talk like that, I'm delusional and I'm schizophrenic and I need help. And then my mom will go, she'll lie to the police and say I'm coming to kill her. Yeah, see, I'm making, here's the, just to show you guys. Can you see him up there? I haven't had a crow yet. I've been here for like 3 days. There's never been a crow. But now we have the robot crows. So what they're trying to keep it, they're reminding me that there's, you know what it is. You know what it is. I'm trying to keep it there so you can, there you go. You're a fat one. With a huge wingspan. That's the biggest crow I've seen in my life. Did you guys see how big that crow was? Did you guys see how big that fucking crow was? Yeah. You can see I look younger. So shit happened. Yeah, shit. It was an attack. That was the biggest crow I've seen in my life. So like I now have this dull pressure. You guys can't hear it, but there are tons of different bugs around me now to restructure the energy from what happened. They're trying to, it was like a giant hit of like a dense negativity. We've had multiple people on the live stream get attacked at the same time, so I could explain to them that it's real and how it works. And the reason I don't think I don't think any of you guys are real because nobody cares or understands. Like, to anybody else, like, I think if anybody else was in my shoes, they'd see it as torture, because it is torture. Isolation is the worst form of torture, and it's always just me out here. And then the only people I go to try to hurt me. So I make these videos as like a, how much can I say before they just kill me? Or maybe we'll figure out if they're real or not. Or maybe there might be someone out there. This is like my Rick in The Walking Dead. If anybody's out there on that radio, Rick is one of the names that follow me through my life. Yeah, so something came wrapped around me, stimulated my electromagnetic spectrum. I saw like a portal open up the same way that the Lyrans unzipped to come in to tell me things, and it said, "You said too much." You feel me? I was seeing if that was a red car. It's not. It's a Jeep I had a dream about the other day that I was driving. Actually, no. It was that Vivek's cabin was going to get bought by someone in a black Jeep. And then that black Jeep just passed. And now I'm looking, and then the small house in front of me is 23. And then there's a sign that says land for sale. There's a Home Depot shed. That's what I was talking about. Then there's a greenhouse. So I talked about buying land, living in a Home Depot shed, and having a greenhouse. And then right in front of me, there's land for sale in a Home Depot shed, and then there's a greenhouse. Let's look for other synchronicities that would show that this was a co-created experience. We have marble. Marble's here. I'm looking for numbers and names. The crows are coming. Crows are being stirred up. It's only black cars right now. They're all black. Yeah. And then I just saw like a black spirit above me, like kind of in Minecraft when they have spectators that are modding, like the game developers, the people that run the server, that stay in creative mode and they stay invisible except for when they communicate with the players. One of those just popped up and said, "It's time for bed." There are crackheads coming now. The homeless people are here. So appreciate it, Susie. To the you are loved. Our souls live outside of time. When you stop believing in time, you can realize that your soul was present through all of time and that you've always been the same thing going through this experience. Your body's on the spiritual journey. Your soul is stagnant in your body, and that soul doesn't move regardless of space and time. Your just experience changes. Your soul doesn't change because your soul is connected to the oversoul outside. And you're just gathering information with your senses that the trees are producing. And everything is conscious. These plants don't have eyes necessarily, but they see us more than we see ourselves, most likely. I don't know. I want to plug my Cash App. My Cash App's in my channel description. Anything helps. Imagine how many people, like if there are real people that passed by me hearing this talk, that they've never heard anything like this in their life. And they just listened for like 5 minutes and like tuned into me for a second. And it made them like, whoa. And they went off to go do meth. That's dope. There's a real Viking boat off the coast, stuck in mud and sand. That's dope. I mean, the apocalypse is just, isn't it just natural disasters to try to get people to stop fighting and come together as community? Like, we know that, like, people are coming out and saying that they worked in nuclear plants that deal with creating nuclear weapons. And every time they get close to, like, practicing launches, UFOs show up and just get inside the codes and hack them and shut them off. And just, they've disabled all the nukes. So it's just, when they have the bombs that they're allowed to have, because I guess they're just micromanaging us. Yeah. From Dublin, Ireland. I want to see Dublin. I want to go to Brian Boru's castle. And I want to go to where he died in the Battle of Clontarf. And I want to stand next to his statue. Hopefully with my father. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say unless people have questions. But for the most part, everyone's showing up for. I don't want to be here for that. I can't afford a gym membership to be able to take a shower. So I'm not going to do that. But there might be, depending on the weather, I know there might be a river about like 3 miles that way. Here's my red truck. Yep, and I feel the negativity coming from. Saw my mom crying, then I might die. Oh, fuck. It was a leaf. Look, it's a bug. It's fucking disgusting. Look at how big that is. Look. Hold up, hold up. That shit's disgusting, fam.